controller down, it's time to talk about something extra. My name is TJ Leo.
And I'm Andrew.
And this is another special edition of Press Pause Extra. It's not one of our normal series or sub-series, whatever you want to call them. This is a first. We're going to do a bracket fight. And if you don't know what that is, it's essentially just a tournament of whatever you want to put in it. It's a website very similar to Tier Maker. I think it's by the same makers of Tier Maker. And what we're going to do today...
The Tier Maker makers.
The Tier Maker makers, yeah. I think they have like 4 different...
They probably got a few.
Things that you can do. There's like a trivia one. There's a bunch.
Yeah.
All very useful for content creators for sure. Mm-hmm. But today's bracket fight tournament is going to be all about gaming peripherals, which I love saying that word. Gaming,
it is a good word.
Gaming peripherals. Now, I do have... let me see here. If I can find it, because I misplaced it, because that's what I do, ladies and gentlemen.
Hooray.
There it is. We have disqualified certain peripherals. Peripherals. I love saying that word. It's not going to get old.
No. So,
number 1. These are the rules that have got things disqualified. Number 1. Anything that's not actually released.
Yeah.
Because good lord, if we expanded it to canceled projects...
Oh, God.
we'd be here for a lot longer.
Yeah, we'd be here forever.
So it has to be actually released. Number 2, we are omitting headsets and microphones because there's a shitload of those.
Yeah. And
there's just no real point. So we don't have like the Pikachu Go, or what was it called?
Oh, Hey You Pikachu.
Hey You Pikachu. We don't have that microphone because it's just a microphone.
Yeah, it's just a microphone.
It's not anything too special. Third-party controllers like Mad Cats. We're not doing any of that.
Yeah, there's a billion of those.
There's a trillion. We could be on here all day. Memory cards.
Yeah, again,
they're just memory cards.
Yeah.
Various pro controllers. So we're not going to be looking at like what's Xbox's
the Elite, I believe, is what it's called.
The Elite. Yeah, and then the PlayStation's got the Edge. I think it's called.
I guess. I don't know.
I can't remember. Yeah, I think it's the Edge, but none of those. Racing wheels. Not doing any of those.
Yeah, there's a bunch, and they're all wheels.
They're wheels. Fighting game arcade sticks. Again.
It's just those. It's just a slightly different way of getting in those standard button inputs.
Yep. Flight sticks for flight joystick kind of things.
Yeah.
There's no need to do those.
No.
Tablets, which is a pretty niche thing, but like there was like the U-Draw tablet and stuff like that. Game Genie and Game Shark are disqualified because, quite frankly, they would probably just automatically win.
Yeah.
Because they're so awesome.
Yeah.
Super Game Boy and Wide Boy, I think, was the N64
version.
The
N64 one.
We're canceling that just because it's such a good...
But it's not even a peripheral. It's literally a Game Boy.
Yeah, it's just a Game Boy on your TV. So again, it's one of those things that it's too good. So it would just kind of automatically win all of the categories, I think. So again, the Rumble Pack, it's Rumble, it's in everything now, so it's not really all that special anymore. Though we can sort of recognize its importance in gaming history for sure. Expansion Pack.
Yeah, it's just a memory expansion.
Thanks for the extra RAM. And then the final one, which might be controversial, but I don't think it is accessibility controllers. There's really only 2. Xbox has theirs, and then PlayStation has that new one that just came out.
And the other thing about accessibility controllers is they're a platform for people to build on for whatever specific, disability they have. Like, is it that they can't move their left hand, their right hand, both? Is it, something else? Like, there's as many different custom-made accessibility controllers as there are disabilities that they address. So it's not really, we're not really able to say, oh, which one is the best. It's like, well, it depends on what your disability is. There's really no objective good or bad. It's whatever works for a person's limitations.
I've been told that the PlayStation one they brought out was like 75% coverage or something like that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. I love that they're officially putting out that they've put out a platform for that, because before people just, they had to do it on their own.
Yeah, you had to kind of find it third party.
Yeah.
Out in the
So
middle
I
of
think it's
nowhere.
great that they're out there, but it's not
Yeah.
really within the space of what we're talking about here.
No. So that's it for the disqualifications. We've been left with 40 weird gaming peripherals.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're going to go through today. So,
We will compare them, and then you know what's going to happen?
what's going to happen?
We will have a number one, which means the cream rises to the top.
Still going with that, eh?
Yeah. I've just, it's been too much fun.
It is. It's a great, I mean, he's a legend.
Yeah.
What can you,
Yeah.
what can you
It's
say?
just,
You know?
I've been in my apartment. I've been just randomly going, oh, yeah.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Yeah, it's great.
It's murder on my throat, but it's just so much fun.
Yeah, it's absolutely
Which is
terrible.
why I'm not going to do the whole show like that. It's just once in a while. Oh, yeah.
Once in a while, got to break it out.
It's already weaker than it was when we recorded the other day because I can't put myself through that again. It's too much.
No, and who knows how long this is going to go. So
yeah.
Okay, let's get into round one. Starting with the Nintendo Zapper versus the Resident Evil Chainsaw Controller.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with the Zapper, which is, everybody knows, it's the Duck Hunt, classic weapon. It also came in gray. The one I had when I was a kid was orange, though.
Yep, mine is also orange.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, you still have it? Look, that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
What a great sound.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in great condition. There's a little chip off of it. I think I might have dropped it when I was a kid or something.
Yeah.
But it still works. It's still fun, man. Duck Hunt is still fun. My niece loves Duck Hunt.
Yeah, it's amazing. Absolutely. Yeah. As long as you have a CRTC or a CRT TV for it to work on.
Yes, that's the other thing. People have figured out a way to make it work with HD TVs, but there's a whole process.
And editing settings in your TV.
No, it goes beyond that. There's hardware hacking that has to happen within the gun.
Yeah.
So it can be done. It can be done, but it's not.
It's not plug and play.
No, it's not plug and play. It does require you to modify your hardware. So
they really need to make a modern version of Duck Hunt.
Yeah,
with a new Zapper.
Yeah, there's got to be something, because they're sitting on there's not a ton of light gun games out there, but there are enough that you could get a decent collection out of them. But they really got to be done with the gun, or something that's close enough to it.
So on a previous episode of Press Pause, you actually explained to me how this thing works. Can you elaborate on that, just so we have that on this episode?
So,
it's cool.
The Zapper is actually a light sensor. And when you pull the trigger, what it does is it sends a signal to the game. And it does a few things very quickly. First, it turns the screen pure black. Then, the next frame, if there is a target on the screen, like, say, a duck in Duck Hunt, the bounds of that object turn white. So they're basically a box that can fill in, that can fit the entire sprite, turns white. And
it's like a target.
Yeah, it's a target. And if the gun says, am I pointing at the light? And for the key thing is, it has to detect darkness before it detects light, because otherwise any source of light would work. It has to immediately detect darkness and then immediately detect light in order to register it as a hit. Now you might be wondering, what happens if you have more than one target? Well, then it blanks the screen and the second target becomes a white square, and it can tell which frame in the firing sequence it detected the light on, and says, okay, that it was the second in the light up frames, so that was target number 2 that the player hit. It's a very basic system, but it works quite well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it works great.
It's accurate, and it doesn't need to be calibrated the way that some of the other things do, like the Super Scope or the Gun Con needed calibration. And this just worked. It does mean that the screen is going to flash every time you
Mhm.
pull the trigger,
Mhm.
which you
Not
know,
good for epileptic people.
yeah. It could be kind of annoying to have the screen flash, but
I always thought it was cool because it felt like a
e-
gun, muzzle flash.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
psh, psh, psh. It's cool.
yeah.
No, I liked it. I loved it. It was great. It was great.
Hmm.
It also worked with Wild Gunman and Hogan's Alley.
Yeah, it
Um,
worked. It worked with a number of games. It was also compatible with uh, The Adventures of Bayou Billy.
the Adventures of
Bayou Billy, because that's
Bayou
that's
Billy.
that's what it sounded like when you got to the title screen. That really, really compressed voice clip.
Yikes!
Yeah,
Yikes!
that was a game. That was a beat 'em up that had shooting scenes occasionally.
Mm.
It was a Konami game. I played it a bunch as a kid. It also had driving scenes in it as well, which was kind of cool.
Driving
It's
seats?
scenes,
Oh,
like
scenes.
levels. So
Gotcha.
you'd be in like a jeep and you'd shoot like helicopters coming by trying to drop bombs on you or whatever.
Gotcha.
It was an okay game. It could have been better, but definitely not the worst.
No, definitely the main hook of the Zapper was Duck Hunt. That was what everyone pretty much used it
Yeah,
for.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Now the Zapper is going up against the Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller, which came in two colors.
Hmm.
Um, it's in here with like sort of a yellow cream color, but it
Yeah,
also came in orange, I believe, for the GameCube edition because there was two versions. There was a PS2 edition,
yeah,
and then there was a GameCube edition.
yeah. And one of them was the yellow one you see here, and then the other one was like a reddish orange.
Yeah, sorry, this is the GameCube edition. And then the which you can kind of tell because if
Yeah,
you zoom in
you
here,
can see, yeah, you can see the X and Y buttons.
yeah, they're shaped exactly like a GameCube controller.
Hmm.
The red one was the red orange one was the PS2 version. Um, wow, this thing's ugly.
I mean, but that's kind of the point.
Yeah, it was just a collector's item. I can't imagine playing on this thing for
I
longer than like I
I
don't know,
always wanted to
10
try
minutes.
it, but I can't imagine that it would be great.
No, it does rev up though. It has a pull cord. It goes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but man, uh, ergonomically impractical.
This would have made more sense as like a Wii version thing, because then you could actually like point the chainsaw to aim.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Otherwise, this is just kind of a controller.
Yeah, it's just a controller, just a really bad controller.
Yeah, like it.
Um,
It's a cool little thing to have on your shelf, I guess, and it's nice that it actually does something other than just sit there and take
yeah,
up
that's true.
space. But like, I can't imagine using this more than once and being like, "Oh, ha, cool. All right, I'm going to use a real controller now."
Exactly, and I think it would look cooler if it didn't have the damn huge logo on the top of it.
Yeah,
It kind of
that's
it kind of
that's
takes
kind of
away from it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Also, I don't know if you noticed this, but like, why is this like a wood, like furniture,
I don't know,
like super strange?
because that would normally be like on a real chainsaw. That would be either like metal or like a
yeah,
plastic.
yeah. It's
I mean, it's
like a
probably
side grip.
plastic there and just textured to
Yeah,
look like wood, but
but it's just like why wood? It's so weird.
yeah, I don't know.
Um, yeah, I can't say I'm a fan of this. Can't say I'm a fan of this one. Um, I think we can both agree the Zapper
Yeah,
moves
I
on.
mean the zapper adds functionality. This is basically just a controller with a weird shape.
Yeah, agreed.
Neat little display piece, but that's kind of all it is.
It's all about it. Yeah. All right, Zapper moves on. Let's go on to round two. All right, we got the Kinect versus what I believe is the Nintendo Biosensor, which we'll get into in a second. But let's start with the Kinect. Wow, what do you say about this device?
The Connect is a thing that I think could have been really cool if like actual thought had gone into into its use, other than, oh god, Nintendo's doing motion controls, now we need to do it.
Well, they also kind of marketed it as like a TV remote because they were
Yeah,
like, do this and then do this and say like, hey, Xbox, pause, and
yeah,
all
but
this
I don't
kind of
want to
stuff.
do that when I could just hit a button on the controller.
Exactly.
It either
Yeah.
has to do something new or something better than just the standard way. Otherwise, it's kind of pointless. And it did do
Yeah.
something new, but most of those games just ended up being flail wildly at the TV to hit objects. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. I would say the most memorable game that was made for the Kinect was probably Fruit Ninja.
yeah,
And even then it was just that's just kind of a it's not really a flailing game. You have to aim,
yeah. You do have
but
to aim.
it's still kind of flaily. You're kind of like you know what
Yeah,
I
and
mean? Like it's still
by the time that version came out, like I'd already had that on my phone for what, like a year and a half at that point.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
definitely a cool version of Fruit Ninja, but it I can only play it flailing in front of my TV. I can't just play it on the bus or something.
Yeah. The biggest promise of the Kinect never came to fruition, and that was Peter Molyneux's
Yeah,
uh,
Milo.
Milo
Yeah.
software, which never
A
happened.
what a shock! Peter Molyneux couldn't deliver on a promise.
Yeah, overpromised, underdelivered.
Well, didn't
Well,
deliver at all in that case.
no, no, no,
Because
never
that's
came
the thing
out.
is that even when Peter Molyneux under delivers, the games are usually still decent. But that one didn't even come out. So
No, no. It seemed like it should have been something really, really cool.
how
And
cool would it have been, though? I wonder.
well, it's interesting now talking about it because it's like we have Alexa
Yeah,
and we have
we have Chat GPT, and
Chat
we see
GPT.
the damage that's doing. People are like thinking, "Oh my god, I've found the secret machine god in Chat GPT."
Yeah.
Maybe Milo getting scrapped like helped us survive a little bit longer.
Yeah, I do think that it's probably inevitable that we're going to have NPCs in games that you can talk to, like actually talk to, like
Yeah.
because they're going to use AI for it. They
Ugh.
demonstrated it during the Unreal 5 presentation. Like,
Oh man, I can't wait for an NPC to have to wait like 15 seconds before they respond and also need an internet connection to do this. Great. All I need to do is know where to turn in my quest. I don't want to have a conversation with an imaginary person.
the demo they showed was pretty impressive. There was only about 2 seconds
Yeah, but
between
how much
thinking and
but
responding.
it's a corporate demo. How much of that is
Oh
real
yeah,
and how much of it is
oh yeah,
staged? So
it's a tech demo. I'm not saying it's implemented into an actual game or anything, but
but my issue
it's
with that
that's
is
where
that
we're going.
yeah, it is. But my issue with that is that even if it works perfectly every single time, what benefit does it really have? Like, oh, you'll be able to talk to somebody on the street in an Elder Scrolls game. Okay, you'll do that for a few minutes, and then you'll go, yeah, okay. I just need to go do my quests. You know?
Well, the way that the Unreal guys talked about it was that they would implement it into main characters that you're talking to in the game. So, like in an RPG, like let's say, like you said, like Elder Scrolls or Skyrim, um, you would have a conversation with a main character NPC, and instead of them just having 6 predetermined things that you can pick from, you can say whatever you want to them and try and get information out of them. And that's part of the gameplay loop, is actually having a conversation and trying to get information out of them, and not just having a selection of things to say, but paying enough attention to the story that you can have those conversations and it feel organic when you're talking to those characters. That's kind of where they want it to go.
That's where they wanted to go, but who's actually going to do that? You know, it's like when they said, "Oh, with NFTs you can trade items between MMOs and other online games." Like nobody's going to implement that. That's way too much work.
It is a lot of work, but I guess that's the point of AI, is to make it easier to do that. I think we're going to get there within the next 20 years.
Eh,
But how good it is, I don't know.
I'm way more skeptical of this technology.
I think we'll get there. I mean,
Yeah,
if we're gonna have holodecks one day, we got to start making our way.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's a great idea. Do you remember? You remember when Picard turned off the safety features in the holodeck and used the machine gun to like gun down the fucking Romulans or whoever
Heck
was
yeah,
in
I
there?
do.
Yeah, that's a terrible idea. You should
I also
not
remember.
You should not be able to do that.
I also remember when Professor Moriarty took control of the ship.
I was going to say when he became self-aware, when Geordi was like, create an opponent that can match data. Yeah. Oh, that's a terrible idea. They had that come back where they had to trap them in like a simulation, a secondary simulation in its own self-contained system.
Yeah, well, they did that because they didn't want to kill him because they thought he was interesting and they wanted to study him.
Yeah, it's because he's technically alive. We created him. We can't kill him. That would be immoral. But he's also trying to take over the ship.
Yep.
God, yeah.
What a great show.
Oh, and let's not forget the other time Geordi fucked up on the holodeck when he got the hots for that woman and created that holodeck simulation of her and then made out with her. And then the real version of that woman found the holodeck simulation and was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
The super smart person?
Yeah. The lady wwho invented part of the warp core or whatever.
Right, yeah.
I remember seeing that for the first time with my sister. We're both look at the screen and we look at each other. We look at the screen and we're like, dude,
what's happening?
Not cool. Like, why did you save it? Because he's like, computers save so he could like go back into that simulation and make out with her some more. Like, what the fuck?
Well, they established hollow addiction. In Voyager. Someone had that. Reg had that. Anyway, this Star Trek side note brought to you by. Connect. Nothing. It did not fulfill its potential, I would say. But let's get to this other strange one here. Then the N64 biosensor.
So this, I guess, is like the vitality sensor that never ended up coming out.
Yeah, so this was actually an accessory that was only released in Japan.
Yes,
and it was made exclusively for Tetris 64.
Oh right, I've heard of this. It would like adjust the game speed based on your heart rate.
Yep. So the faster your heartbeat, the worse. No, that's not how it worked. How did it work? Oh yeah, it sort of forced you to stay calm.
Yeah,
like it was like a chill forcer. So like the more the more slow and normal your heartbeat was, the easier the game was essentially. So you kind of had to like control your breathing and kind of stay chill in the face of blocks that were coming down in the stress of losing the game. How well it did, I can't really say. It only came out in Japan. There's very little information I could find about it.
Yeah.
But it came packaged with Tetris 64 in Japan.
Well, that's definitely something in its favor, because I hate it when it's like, oh, here's a game. Oh, now you need to go out and buy this thing from it. Like if they just package it with it.
Yeah. But yeah, kind of a cool idea. The only problem with it, and I think the reason that the vitality sensor didn't come out, because it looked exactly the same as this, was nobody wants to play a video game with this stupid thing on your finger.
Yeah, that's like they have these things. This is basically what they do for like blood oxygen thing. They put it on your index finger. It's it's whatever. I've actually got one here somewhere because my mom is a doctor, and so I have one. But yeah, it's just like a heavy. Like it's not too heavy, but when you're trying to hold like a game controller,
well, also it's pinching the end of one of your fingers, so it's kind of irritating.
It doesn't. It clamps down just hard enough to sort of mate and sense.
Did you just say mate?
Yeah, like it mates with your finger, like a connection.
Okay.
I thought it was better than eating your finger, because it does kind of come down like Jaws. Okay.
I don't know. Mating and eating.
Whatever.
It's getting weird.
Anyway,
it's getting weird.
The point is, it's. I think it's like an infrared light that shines through and determines like the blood flow or something like that. It's a clunky thing to have hanging off your finger.
Yeah. And it only worked with one game, so I guess we kind of have to give Kinect the automatic win here.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, how many uses would a thing like that even have? It'd just be kind of the same thing as adjusting the game based on your heart rate, you know?
It's very specific. Well,
Yeah.
the only other thing I could think of would be like a horror game. So like if
Sure.
you're trying to like sneak around, it's like it'll detect your heart rate and maybe you'll like breathe heavier in the game because your heart rate's up and like trying
Yeah,
not to panic or something like that.
it's
But
kind of high concept. Like, I can see it being a thing, but I also think of, like, you know how Left 4 Dead had its AI director that would adjust the game, like the difficulty of the game in response to the performance of the players. You didn't
yeah,
need a thing attached to measure player performance. You used metrics like how much damage are they taking, how much damage are they dealing, you
hmm
know, how accurate are their shots, that kind of
yeah,
stuff. And
yeah,
they managed to do that stuff on the fly just fine without
true.
any kind of quirky little gizmo.
Indeed. All right, connect reluctantly. You go on ahead to the next round. All right, next up, we got the Game Boy camera versus the Dreamcast fishing rod. So let's start with the Game Boy camera.
This thing was so neat.
Yeah, it was fine.
I mean, it's a camera. Like, it's
It does look cute. It's like an eyeball,
yeah,
It's
yeah,
so
yeah.
cute.
And if you notice, there's an arrow on it that indicates that you can twist it 180 degrees so it can point outwards as well.
Oh,
So it does. It's
interesting.
not always just in selfie mode.
So selfie mode before there were selfies.
Yep.
Um, I think. Let's see. I'm trying to remember the games that it used.
Well, this
Um,
was a cartridge in and of itself. Um, you could there were some built-in games. There was like God, there was like some kind of like Space Invaders thing on it.
okay.
Just little mini games. It was mostly just like a fun sort of fuck around with it kind of application, kind of like Mario Paint.
Yeah, the only thing I can really remember ever using it for, because I don't think I had one, but somebody I knew had one. And they also had another device on this list that it paired with,
The printer.
interestingly, the printer. And
Yeah,
so they would just take a picture of themselves and be able to print out a little terrible, terrible
little
quality picture.
little grayscale sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a neat idea, and God, I regret so much. Nintendo Power was offering a special Zelda edition that
Hmm.
you had to order through their catalog. I fucking wish I'd gotten that because there's like a bunch of stickers in the software that you can apply to your photos and stuff. And
Yeah.
this one had an entire additional set of Zelda themed ones, and it's like really rare now. And God, I should have gotten that, but I didn't.
It does say on the Wikipedia that it was only available in the States if you were an American, like in
Yeah.
the US. So you may have mailed it in and they would have been like, no, you're in Canada.
I mean, I ordered things through Nintendo Power's catalog before, though, so
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's not much else to say about it. It's
yeah,
just not
it
a
was
great camera.
it's a neat little thing. Doesn't really have much use, although I have seen a bit of a revival in it with people trying to get like the best photographs that they can
Mhm.
with it. I've seen some pretty cool pictures. Like, I'm surprised at how good the quality turned out, but it is still like a 4 shades of gray camera.
Yeah.
Neat toy, but that's really all it is a toy.
It would have been better if it didn't take up the cartridge space so that they could use it in the game. But
Yeah,
like
yeah,
in various games. But
yeah. Having it be something that went in through the extension port. But I almost wonder like how much of that is just like mounting for the weight of the camera. I mean, it wasn't
yeah.
tremendously heavy, but heavy enough that you'd need some support for it.
Yeah. I mean, look how long the damn thing is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty
Well,
long.
because it has to stick out over the top of the Game Boy.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the Dreamcast fishing rod,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of self-explanatory.
It's for Sega Bass Fishing.
Yeah.
Although I think there's a few other games you can use it with for like a almost like a proto motion controller kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the games list for it. No, that's not it. Oh, so there was Sega Bass Fishing, Sega Marine Fishing, and Lake Masters Pro. So, fishing games. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
and there's also Bass Rush Dream. That may have been a Japanese only title though.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of Japanese ones here. Fish Eyes, Wild, Sega Bass Fishing 2, Get Bass. That's a great name. Sega Bass Fishing Duel. Yeah, there's a bunch. I remember. I think a buddy of mine had this, and it actually worked pretty well.
Yeah, yeah.
It was actually quite good.
If you were into fishing games.
If you were into fishing games, it actually worked really well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know how you fish.
Yeah.
You know.
Sega Bass Fishing is fun though.
Yeah.
It's I like it because it's like the really realistic fishing games that have you like waiting around like 10 minutes for a fish to bite.
Oh god.
Yeah, Sega Bass Fishing is an arcade fishing game, so it's like it's like 30 seconds max you're waiting. It really speeds things along.
Yeah, I the only fishing game I've ever liked besides like fishing in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Was I think it was a mobile game. It may have been a mobile game. It was like a side view, like 2D game where your hook went all the way to the bottom, and then you had to catch fish as it was coming back up.
Mm.
And it would be like it's like a vertical scroller almost.
Oh,
and so you had to like move it left and right to catch fish that were going left and right on the screen as you were coming up.
And you end up with like a shish kebab on your hook of fish. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like an arcade style fishing game. But yeah, no, this was a good piece of tech if you were super into fishing games.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not what I wanted at all. Where'd our there we go. This one's tough. I would give it to the fishing rod just because it had
functionality with games and wasn't just its own thing. Yeah, I got to agree. I like the Game Boy camera, but it's just a fuck around thing. It doesn't really connect to other games and let you do stuff.
No. All right. Shifting that around. So fishing rod. Next up, we have the Dream Eye versus the Dex Drive. So let me grab the big screenshot here of the Dream Eye.
Yeah, so this is the Dreamcast camera.
Dreamcast camera. There's a lot of cameras.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think I've actually ever heard of this one. I'm trying to look up what games it was used for here.
Yeah, I forget what games used it because like it was... I hadn't heard of it back when the Dreamcast was a thing. It was only after the fact that I even learned it existed.
Yeah, so there's a game called Visual Park, which looks like an AR game. So like it puts stuff over what you were pointing it at.
Oh, okay.
Because this is not a fixed camera like most of these are. This is you pick it up and you point it at stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So this was mostly, I think, used as just like an AR type of experience.
Which is a neat idea for the Dreamcast.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty early to be doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the camera looked pretty good too. It was like a...
Yeah, I think it was 640 by 480, 30 FPS. So
yeah, it was pretty good.
Pretty impressive, essentially webcam for the time. If you remember, webcams back then were often like 320 by 240 and 5 frames per second.
Yeah.
So this thing was actually pretty beefy in terms of its capabilities.
This thing was just slightly bigger than the memory card, or what did they call that thing?
The VMU, the Visual Memory Unit.
Yeah, just slightly bigger.
Yeah.
Than that thing. Not much else to say about it because it didn't really get a huge amount of various.
Yeah, I mean the Dreamcast was only on the market for like 3 years, so
yeah,
whatever it might have been potentially used for, it never got to see that come to fruition.
Yeah. So let's go to the Dex Drive, which is under the 64, I believe. Yeah, there it is.
So this thing is crazy. There were Dex Drives. I'm actually kind of surprised you pulled the N64 version, because the PlayStation version is by far the more successful one. This is a device that lets you basically connect your memory card to a computer. It's got, I think it's actually a serial port on there instead of a USB.
Yes. Yeah,
So like the kind
port.
you had to screw in, like a VGA monitor.
Yep.
For people who are not old enough to know what serial ports are.
Yeah, those little
It let you number one, back up your save files to your computer, which was a huge deal because it meant that you basically had unlimited space for your save files instead of having to, buy a bunch of extra memory cards. And number two, you could also transfer save files to it. So if somebody uploaded a save file for a game that had like all the stuff unlocked for it, you could just download it and have all that stuff unlocked from the get-go. Like imagine that for like Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
You
unlock all characters.
Unlock all the characters yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only reason this probably didn't take off all that much is the fact that, instead of going to the extreme of having to download saves from the internet, which was at that time very primitive, you could just get a Game Shark and unlock things that way.
Yeah, but like the utility for backing up your save files
that is
pretty cool. God, fucking, as somebody who has lost save files in like 100-hour RPGs before, holy shit!
Yeah.
Like this thing would be worth its weight in gold practically. It's pretty, not that it's that heavy because it's mostly an empty plastic shell with some hardware inside, but like also that fucking 90s ass case design that looks like an SGI workstation accessory with its plastic.
Ugly.
Yeah, it's definitely not the most attractive piece of hardware, but it's not about how it looks, it's about how it works. And holy shit, that thing is just like, it's such a great idea.
Yep, absolutely. So I would have to say the Dex Drive wins this one.
Absolutely.
Definitely. All right, Dex Drive, you're going on. All right, next up we have the... let's see, what was this one called? The Laser Scope?
Yeah, the Laser Scope.
Versus Tony Hawk Ride. So this is the Laser Scope. This was for the NES.
Yeah.
And it was basically a microphone controller. Which I know we weren't going to include microphones, but this is a little different.
Yeah, it actually uses sound. So that the thing that goes over the face, the scope there, that's basically a zapper.
Yeah.
And it detects sound as basically pulling the trigger. So of course, if you've seen the AVGN video, fire, 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 fire.
The parent's worst nightmare.
Yeah. But it does also have headphones in it. So it's at least useful for that. And you can take the scope off.
Yeah, it could just be the headset.
Yeah.
Yeah. It worked.
It worked.
I can say that, which is as we go on this list, that's something that is very important.
It counts for something.
It counts for something. Is it a good idea?
I mean, it's a noisier light gun with headphones attached. I'm not really sure.
And like, if you say the word fire, you could more quickly fire by pressing a button than saying fire. So, what was the exact point of this? I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hilariously, though, the developer is Konami.
Yep.
They made this. So, it functions.
It works. Like, it does. This is the thing. It does exactly what it claims to do. It's not like it doesn't work.
No.
It's just, it's a longer way of doing a thing that you can already do.
Yeah, it's very strange. Very strange. And then on the right-hand side here, we have the Tony Hawk Ride Board.
Yeah.
Which didn't work as well.
No.
So this thing was basically a controller that you would use to play Tony Hawk Ride with. Yeah. It was a controller for a game. And you stand on it, and what it's supposed to do is anything you do on the board.
It's got like a tilt sensor. It's got
Yeah.
it's got like motion sensors on the side, so when you're pushing with your legs to go faster, it detects the leg sweeping by and says,
Yeah.
"Oh, the player is trying to push off like they were on a real skateboard."
Yeah. Or if you kick flip back, you're
Yeah.
supposed to do that in the game. The problem is it just doesn't work properly.
Yeah,
It's
so
just
College Humor had a video on this thing years and years ago, like long enough ago when they were still called College Humor and not Dropout.tv. But where they had somebody they got somebody who actually knew how to skate try to use it, and they couldn't get it to work either. And they actually went to the length of duct taping it to a skateboard and having him try to do
Wow.
stuff on the skateboard, and it still didn't work right. So yeah.
I remember Tony Hawk showing it off and pointing to it and going, "This thing's full of technology." Remember that? I think it was at like E3 or something like that. It's like it is full of technology. It doesn't mean it works though.
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing was not good.
I mean, if it had worked, it would have been cool, I guess. But it working.
It was also expensive. It was $119 US.
Yeah, and it's a thing that you stomp on.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of money to pay for something that you're going to stomp on.
Yeah. Yeah, this did not go over well. This was kind of how the Tony Hawk franchise kind of died.
Yeah. God, yeah.
And has only now started to recover by the remakes.
By remaking the old games.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they tried to do a new one, number 5, and that failed miserably.
God, no, please.
So, yeah. I think by default...
Yeah, like the thing about the laser scope is that it's kind of goofy and pointless, but at least it fucking works.
It works. All right, who knew? Konami Laser Scope moves on.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Ultimate Kickboxing versus the Game Boy Color mobile adapter.
Yeah.
Let me pull up the Ultimate Kickboxing. Do you remember this one?
God, no, I don't.
Okay,
but
so I do because I played it.
Oh wow, it looks like
I didn't buy it. I played it. It was at the CNE one year. They were demoing it.
Man, that is a fucking. They are really trying to ride the line with that Street Fighter-esque logo there.
Yeah, so this is a game and a set of controllers in one.
Oh, this is for the PS2? Wow,
yeah.
This is way later than I thought they would have tried to push this crap.
Yeah, no, this is PS2. So it was 2 parts. So you can see the mat there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a DDR map, and that is how you basically did like jumping and ducking and dodging and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you jumped on the mat, it would jump in game. If you did left and right, it would. I think it would like move you like in the 3 dimensions.
Yeah.
And then if you ducked, you would have to step back in order to like do that basically.
Ugh. Yeah.
And then if you look in the bottom right hand corner, there's 4 like Star Trek symbol looking things.
I was wondering what those doodads are.
So if you look closely, you
are
can
those
see
sensors.
Yeah. So and not only are they sensors, but they're also you can see the buttons.
Yeah, the PlayStation buttons.
So those are the replacements for the PlayStation buttons. So you would strap each of these to your right wrist, your left wrist, your right ankle, and your left ankle. And when you do this, your character does the same thing.
And it's the same as pushing that button?
Essentially, yeah.
Wow.
Except it doesn't work.
It
works absolutely terribly.
Yeah.
I remember playing it going like, this is not translating. This is not. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
So it's all kinds of awful. It's really bad. It's really bad. I played. So this was the year that I went to the CNE and played this. They had some sort
Canadian
of
National Expo for anybody who doesn't know.
Yeah, the exhibition. Not to be confused with the PNE, the Pacific National Exhibition, which I've never seen anything about that or been to it or anything like that. I don't know how it compares. I should look into that. But that the year that I went, they had some sort of like mini version of like CES going on that year.
Okay.
So there was all kinds of like technology and TVs and like everything under the sun. It was basically a mini CES.
Do you remember what year this was?
Oh God, no, I have no
You
idea.
got like a ballpark estimate, or?
Well, let's see. Let's find out when this came out.
If it's for PS2, it would have had to have been in the 2000s.
Let me see if I can. oh, I'm in images. Okay, I was just trying to find. No, that's not it. I can't. There's not even a wiki page for the Ultimate Kickboxing.
Oh man.
When did Ultimate Kickboxing release? It's not even coming up on Google. That's how bad it is.
That is an ugly ass drawing, by the way.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah. No, I don't remember.
That's
2005. I want to say. I don't know.
Your friend who kind of knows how to draw to do the art instead of hiring a professional artist.
Yeah. No, I'd say 2005, but again, that's just
whatever.
An educated guess. But the same year, I got to try one of the first VR headsets, and holy shit, that thing was heavy.
Yeah.
It was plugged in with a cable, and it probably weighed a good like 15, 20 pounds.
Is that one of the ones that had like the Star Fox graphics kind of game?
No, I played Doom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played Doom in it. And it was cool, but it was also so incredibly heavy that it exhausted me very quickly. And just the act of like looking around, you can feel it kind of like the weight shifting. So it just didn't feel comfortable at all.
Yeah.
But it was a lot cooler than this thing was. Let me tell you that. This thing was just bad. And then the other one we have, grab the big screenshot here. It's the Game Boy Mobile adapter, which basically allowed your Game Boy Color to connect to the internet.
It was like it was kind of like a wireless connection between players. I believe you could trade Pokemon and battle Pokemon over a cell network connection. This is only in Japan.
It says it worked for roughly 20 games, including Pokemon Crystal, Mobile Golf, and others.
Yeah.
Golf.
Yeah, I mean, cell phone ownership was way more prolific in Japan at that point than it was here at the time. This was from like 99 or 2000, I think.
Launch 2001.
Okay. And cell phone ownership here was like nothing, whereas in Japan it was already quite common. Yeah. So it's not surprising that it didn't come out here. But yeah.
It also was discontinued after 2 years.
Yeah. But neat idea. A little bit clunky to have to carry around a Game Boy and a cell phone and then connect them together. Like you would think that maybe they'd connect them wirelessly with like a little dongle or something, but maybe that's asking too much.
Are you good at yen conversion?
Yeah. I usually take 2 digits off and go, okay, it's roughly that many dollars.
Okay, so it was about $58 at the time, $58 US, which at that time I'd rather buy a game or two.
Yeah. But if you've already got a bunch of games that supported it and you played them a lot, this wouldn't be a terrible investment.
No. If you had a cell phone.
But again,
I assume it would take up like something.
I think there were credits to use the service.
Okay. I was going to say it wouldn't be free. That's for sure.
No, but I mean, if you lived in Japan at the time, you probably did have a cell phone.
Yeah, I guess we have to give it to the Game Boy Mobile adapter.
I mean, it worked.
Yeah, it worked. So, again, that kind of counts. Yeah. All right, next round is... Oh, God, what was this thing called? The
Sega Menacer.
The Sega Menacer versus Rob the Robot.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me bring up the Menacer. So this was a light gun.
Yeah, right? This is a light gun.
This thing looks
so much like the Super Scope.
I was going to say, this looks like a rip-off of the Super Scope if I've ever seen one.
Exactly like the Super Scope. It doesn't look anything like the Genesis, but it's used with the Genesis.
Very strange.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever seeing this. Do we know if it worked well?
I've never used one.
Let's look up how it was received. Let's see. Description, history, games, reception. Oh, not good. The Menacer was a poorly executed flop that is much less likely to be remembered than its Super Scope competitor. even though the latter did not fare much better. Well, I know the Super Scope worked though.
Okay, here's the question: how many games did the Menacer work with?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, that already puts it in better standing than what it's up against.
Unfortunately, only one of those is a Genesis game. The rest are Sega CD.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
And then one is Sega Channel.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
Yikes. And I don't recognize. Well, maybe let's see. I do recognize one of them.
Yeah, read them off.
So, Terminator 2, the arcade game. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Mad Dog McCree.
Oh God, yeah, it's one of those FMV light gun games where, yeah.
Body Count.
Okay.
Who Shot Johnny Rock?
Oh God, I remember
Probably
that.
it's got to be an FMV game.
Yeah,
right?
it's another. Yeah, okay. I remember that game.
Mad Dog McCree 2.
Yeah.
Corpse Killer. I do remember that one. Wasn't that really, really bad?
It's yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the one that was like, it looked like somebody made it in like paint.
Yeah.
And just copied and pasted stuff and didn't like, it was terrible. And then Crime Patrol.
Crime Patrol is another FMV shooter like Mad Dog McCree.
So, not a great lineup there. I mean, T2 is probably the best one, and that was the first game. Oh, and something called Menacer 6-game cartridge. So
okay,
I guess
so that'd be like
a pack-in probably.
That'd be like Super Scope 6, basically.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah. So Menacer 6-game cartridge came with Ready Aim Tomatoes, which was a spinoff of Toe Jam and Earl.
Okay.
Rockman Zone. I don't think that has anything to do with Mega Man.
No.
Space Station Defender, which is similar to Ready Aim Tomatoes. Whack Ball, which is basically Breakout, but with a gun, I guess. Frontline. And Pest Control.
They all kind of sound like they're pretty similar, just with a different graphical theme. But it's like shoot things.
Yeah. Not a great lineup. However,
it's against Rob the Robot, which if there's anything to go up against here,
I don't know what they were thinking with Rob the Robot.
Yeah.
I can't find the picture of him. There he is.
Yeah. So, the most fun I ever had with Rob the Robot was in Smash Brothers.
Really? How's that work?
Because
I see. Because he was a character. You got me on that one. Damn. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't even explain to you what the purpose of this thing was. It was basically to be a second player, essentially.
Yeah, for two very specific games, and the only games that ever worked with it, Stack Up and Gyromite,
which we covered on our launch game series. Yeah,
because they were launch games for the NES. This thing is stupid.
What a disaster! What? I don't know what they were thinking with this. Like, I generally just genuinely don't know.
Nintendo, they've been like that. They're like, hey, here's an idea, and that's just crazy enough that it might work. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. You see anybody still talking about Labo?
Well, we'll get to that. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. It basically just like picked up blocks and moved them between like little seats that it was in. Like you can see the little. Yeah, you would attach inserts. The accessories to it there. So it also required assembly depending on the game that you were gonna use with it. Well, again, I hate to say it. Yeah. But I think the Menacer just wins by default. Yeah, I'd much rather play T2, the arcade game, on Genesis than fucking do anything with Rob. Yeah. But he does send you stuff in Star Fox 64. It's true. All right, we're going to do the Rollin' Rocker versus Rock Band. Another AVGN classic. Yeah. This is Rollin' Rocker. Rollin' Rock. Rollin' Rocker. Yeah, I'm drinking Rollin' Rock on the Rollin' Rocker. That's a classic. That's a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was made by LJN, which
Yep.
is all you need to know.
Yeah.
what the, I would love to have like a documentary about LJN and just find out how that company existed, let alone,
Well,
you
they
know.
were a toy company. That's the thing, is they were a toy company who got into video games. So you
Oh,
have people who don't really know anything about making video games, which is why they contracted all their work out to other people. But like, yeah, they're just, I'd say that's a terrible business idea, but that's also kind of how Nintendo got into video
Nintendo
games.
worked.
It
Yeah,
worked out for them, but
it worked.
you,
Definitely
you
worked
had
out.
people who were thinking about what would be fun to do, and not just people who are like, what can we license? Because that's the thing. Most of LJN's games are licensed games.
And they're mostly bad.
They're based on like movies and stuff, and a lot of their
We should do
toys.
a LJN like series where we
No,
just
no, no,
look
no.
at.
AVGN had a video where he went through every LJN
Oh
game.
yeah, that's true. That's
I
true.
don't think I think that subject has been well covered. Plus, I don't
Yeah, we
want to
can't.
play all those fucking games. Are you kidding me?
No, that's true.
We do this show because we enjoy it.
And not to torture ourselves like he
Yeah.
does. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so for those that don't know of the Rollin' Rocker, it basically is a giant D-pad.
Yeah, it's a D-pad. You tilt it and it works, or it doesn't. They're infamous
Yeah.
for not being very high quality. I don't know what it looks like on the inside, but I imagine it's probably just a really basic tilt sensor and a bunch of empty space.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
It's pretty bad.
yeah, and you still have to hold the controller because it doesn't have anything to do the A and B buttons. You actually plug the controller into a port on the front of the thing that we can't see. So what's the point in using the Rollin' Rocker if you're already holding the controller?
Exactly. And how that never occurred to LJN
Yeah.
is beyond me.
Yep. Completely unnecessary garbage.
Absolutely. I'm yeah. It's probably worth some money today though, as a collector's item.
I mean, maybe it's probably worth more money for being in an AVGN video than it is as
That's
like
true.
a rare piece of tech. You
That's
know,
true.
they made a fucking Jason toy based on his appearance in the game. I guarantee you that only happened because of AVGN. Because who
Yeah.
the fuck remembers Friday the 13th for the NES like before AVGN?
Yeah, that's true. Especially fondly.
Yeah.
You know, like very few people. Although
Yeah.
I've met some people that say the Friday the 13th was one of their favorite games for NES, which is crazy. To
I
me.
mean, well, you got to remember back then, like, what was our alternative? You know, we put up
Mario.
with so much. Well, yeah, but like for a horror video game, if you wanted
Yeah.
a scary video game, like there wasn't really much else. There wasn't Resident Evil yet.
Yeah, that's true. All right, the other one is Rock Band.
Yeah.
Instruments.
Rock Band / Guitar Hero, whatever. It's
Well,
kind
no,
of the same thing.
they're separate. They're
Oh,
separate.
really?
Yeah, and it's mostly because the guitar is actually quite different
really?
than the Guitar Hero one. So I've played both through friends.
Yeah.
So my family had Rock Band, which was basically the guitar, microphone, and drums.
You want
And
to know something?
Yeah.
I've never played any of these games. Not a one.
I never bought any of them. That's definitely for sure. But I've definitely played them on occasion. I think there may have been a fourth Rock Band
Yeah,
instrument.
there was a period of like 2.5 years when these were the biggest games in the world, and they made like no lie, they probably made like 15 between Guitar Hero and
yeah.
Rock Band. Like there was like a Guitar Hero Metallica edition because I guess they were too special to just be DLC. There was Rock Band The Beatles again because I guess they were too special to just be DLC.
Mm-hmm.
You remember when they trotted out fucking Ringo Starr and Paul McCartney at E3 that one year?
And they were like, "Why the fuck are we here?"
It's like first of all, the most famous people to ever be at E3. Number two, the least clued in as to what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves showed up many years later, but at least he kind of got it. You know?
Like he gets it. The Beatles, it's like these are dudes who at that point were like in their 70s, And it's
They have no idea what's going on.
They don't know. They don't care. They've got their millions and millions of dollars for being one of the most successful musical groups of all time. Like,
Yeah.
they're just there doing whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so there was two different guitars for Rock Band. There was the electric guitar, but there was also the bass guitar. I'm assuming this is the bass guitar, but I don't know for sure. Honestly, I'm not a Rock Band expert by any stretch. But I do know that this stuff worked well. And obviously it was super popular, and now it's basically responsible for half the garbage that's at our dumps today.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But it did work. And worked well.
You know what's bothering me is that the colors on the drums don't follow the colors of the spectrum. It should be red, yellow, green, blue, not blue, green. Come on, guys.
I don't know why they chose that specific color pattern. Maybe I was going to say maybe it matches the controller.
But it doesn't. What controller has it laid out like that?
Well, I meant the colors of the PlayStation.
Yeah, but there was also the Xbox controller.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they were the same on both, right?
Yeah.
Weird. But, I mean, we have to give it to the Rock Band.
Yeah, because they work.
Because they work.
This has become a recurring theme.
Yep. All right, we've got the Sufami Turbo.
Oh, God, yeah.
Versus the Onimusha controllers. So, let me get the Sufami. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Sufami Turbo. So
let me explain how this thing worked.
Yeah, I think I know how it works.
So this was a thing. This is, I believe, a Bandai product, and this was we will make special games for the Super Nintendo that can interact with each other. So you plug this into the Super Nintendo or the Super Famicom, whatever, and then you have your little mini games that go in those A and B slots. They're Super Nintendo games. They're just in a smaller cartridge, but this thing allows them to interact with one another. And so you could trade, like, in games that supported it, characters or items or whatever. But the thing is, going back to the NFT thing, most of the games didn't actually do that, and a lot of them you could just trade currency. There was like a standard currency in all these games that you used to unlock stuff in them. There was like an Ultraman game and a few others. But
I have the list of all of the games that were released for this Famicom. So there was only 13.
Yeah.
8 of them were SD Gundam games.
Yeah.
And then the other ones are I'm not even going to try to. One of them was Sailor Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't pronounce any of the other ones. No idea what they are. Crayon Shin-chan.
Oh, yeah, Shin-chan. I like that show.
Poi Poi Ninja.
Do you want me to do it?
Gege? G-E-G-E-G-E. Gege?
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
Gege no Karatu? Kataru. No Kataru. Gege no Kataru.
Yeah, I'm not...
And then the last one was Sentei Karanger.
Oh, yeah, that'd be like Japanese Power Rangers. Super Sentai Kaka Ranger, I think, is what you're talking about.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, that's what became Alien Rangers.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what's funny about this thing is that it was advertised as its killer app was supposed to be Tetris 2 plus Bombless, which never ended up being released for it, and it ended up becoming a Super Famicom game.
Yep.
So this thing kind of failed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I think it came out really late in the Super Nintendo life.
96.
96. Yeah. So the year the N64 came out.
Yeah. Yeah. What a bad decision this was.
Yeah. I kind of wonder if this was like an attempt to like keep on making novel games for the Super Nintendo and get people to
capitalize on the install base.
Yeah, because like Super Nintendos are going to go cheap now, so maybe people will, be willing to buy weirdo games for it instead of spending like full price on. I don't know. I don't know what goes through these people's heads sometimes.
I don't know either, man. Weird decisions all the time. This next one, where'd the picture go? I don't think I have the picture. The big picture, anyway. No, I don't. It's missing.
That's a problem.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Hooray.
All right. So this is the Onimusha controller, which is, as you can see, a katana.
Yeah.
And it's a replacement for the PlayStation controller.
Now here's my question. Does it have any kind of like motion control capabilities?
Not that I'm aware of. No, it's just a controller. Let's see if I can find. Let's see. Yeah, they called it the Demon Katana, or the Soul Katana.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this thing back in the day, but I never used it.
No, neither. These two Katana controller. Trying to find some actual deets, but they're pretty sketch. I'm guessing that most people who bought it as like a collector's item, just like the chainsaw controller.
Yeah.
And it was never really intended to be used as a replacement for your PlayStation controller.
Yeah, although I'm sure that there's somebody who's done like AGDQ playing like some crazy ass game with this. Because I mean, if it's just a PS2 controller, it should work with everything, right?
Oh yeah, it's like people playing the violin to beat Elden Ring.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like I'm sure someone's done it, but yeah, not great. Not a great idea.
This is tough because it's like we have two things here, and like one of them is just a controller that's less useful than a real controller.
The other one was supposed to be like a,
and the other one is just kind of a dead end. I mean, I guess we give it to the Sufami just for doing something different other than just being a way of inputting buttons.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, the controller is not practical whatsoever. I mean, look how you would hold it.
Yeah.
You'd have to hold it and it would be so top heavy on one side because you can see the buttons.
Yeah.
They're like right here. Like,
can you summon the Dragon Zord with it? Because then I'd have to. Yep. Yeah, there you go.
All right, Sufami Turbo moves on.
Just barely.
And then our final piece in round one here is, what is this here? This is the Satellaview versus the Gun-Con.
Yeah.
So Satellaview was basically like the mobile adapter, I guess, but for the Super Famicom.
The way that this worked is that Nintendo would broadcast over a satellite transmission unique, usually smaller scale games that would be downloaded into that. You can see that there's a swappable thing on that cartridge. That's like a memory cartridge that would hold the data.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like Super Game Boy.
Yeah. It's actually shaped very much like Super Game Boy.
Yeah.
I wonder if they reused the mold for it. Who knows?
Maybe.
And this was home to some interesting titles. One of them was the precursor to Chrono Cross, Radical Dreamers.
Oh.
Which was a text adventure game. But actually, the scenario in that is played out in full Chrono Cross. It's the where you sneak into Viper Mansion to steal the Frozen Flame, or at least you think you're going for the Frozen Flame. You've never played Chrono Cross, so that means nothing to you.
That's okay.
But
one day I will.
Yeah, there are characters who reappeared in Chrono Cross here. There's music. The battle music in this game is the battle music in Chrono Cross.
They released Radical Dreamers for
in the Chrono Cross like remaster.
Radical Dreamers edition.
Yeah. Yep, it's there. Radical Dreamers, it's a neat little game. It's not very long. It's like maybe an hour, but it's a neat little novelty. And if you were looking for more like something related to Chrono Trigger, it's not immediately clear until you finish it that it's even connected to Chrono Trigger because it's not marketed as being connected to Chrono Trigger, but you realize when you get to the end of it, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I know what that's in reference to. Yeah.
This thing had a surprising amount of games released for it.
Yeah.
114.
Yeah. There was also a special version of Link to the Past that this was a thing that they did, and why you could only play it at least the Link to the Past game at certain times a day, was they would have voice actors doing dialogue for the characters that would be broadcast as part of the satellite signal.
That's
So
cool.
you would like have an actress playing Princess Zelda, saying, please come rescue me or whatever, and you would hear it while you were playing the game.
Kind of reminds me of that Xbox game that they did, the 1 versus 100. Remember that?
Oh yeah,
Where it was a live experience.
yeah,
It's pretty cool.
yeah.
Pretty cool idea.
But of course, that means that you have to be playing on a certain date at a certain time.
Yes.
Because they're not going to just have the actors just doing the lines all hours of the day. It also means that some of these games are of like dubious status now. Collectors have managed to find intact memory cartridges with the games still on them. So a lot of these things have been preserved.
Cool.
Which is how I played Radical Dreamers. I played a version that was fan translated with an emulator, because this was before they officially re-released it. But the Zelda game, there is a hacked version out there, but it's obviously not quite the same experience, just because it doesn't have the live elements. But you can play a sort of pseudo restored version of it. It does exist. But it was kind of a neat idea. I like that it wasn't just like games that already were there. It was like, let's try new things that use this technology. So it's a little bit different from the Sega Channel. I mean, having an on-demand gaming service would also be kind of cool for the day, which is what the Sega Channel was. But this one actually used the technology to do some interesting stuff. So I got to give them credit for that.
Nintendo did consider it a commercial failure, but it had a pretty wide following.
Yeah.
I think this kind of service, so not the peripheral itself is obviously not needed anymore, but the service itself would be really cool today.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought the 1 versus 100 was sick. An interactive game show.
Yeah.
Like that idea is pretty cool, and having like live things happening in games is such a cool concept that, surprisingly, with the rise of the internet and how great and how fast the internet is, doesn't feel like they've taken real advantage of that. In any game, really. Everything's still kind of just like it's plopped in there and then it just sits there. It's not interactively live in any way. So I really like the idea of this thing. It's pretty cool. What do we got? Oh, the GunCon is the next one. There we go. Boom.
Yeah, so this is what you would use to play like Time Crisis and Point Blank on the PS1.
And there was a bunch of versions of this too.
Yeah, there's like a PS2 version of it as well. I think there's a Dreamcast version, because I believe they had Time Crisis 2 on the Dreamcast. But yeah, this is Namco's light gun. I actually played the home version of Time Crisis. I've played it both in the arcades and on the PS1. This thing works pretty well. It does have a weird. You'll notice the video. There's a video cable attached to it. You actually connect the video out from your PlayStation into the back of this thing, and then plug the connected, like the joined input in, and it. I don't exactly know what it does, like how it interacts with the PlayStation video signal. I don't really know how this one works. But it doesn't need the screen to flash like the Zapper does, and it doesn't need like an IR emitter on the top of the TV like the Super Scope did or like the Wii Remote did. So it's doing something. I'm just not exactly sure what it is.
So I have an explanation as how the latest GunCon works. The GunCon 3 says it utilizes 2 infrared LED lights as markers placed on the left and right sides of the screen. An image sensor in the muzzle tracks the markers as reference points for determining where the gun is pointed on the screen.
Okay, that's how the Wii Remote works. But that's not how this one worked. So
that's how GunCon 3 worked.
Yeah.
GunCon 1 and 2
this
were only compatible with CRT displays. So
Yeah.
there you go.
So I don't this says PS2 GunCon, so I assume this is the GunCon 2.
No, this is the GunCon 1. I just put it under PS2 because it was kind of a multi-tier,
Oh,
multi-gen kind of a thing.
okay, okay.
Yeah, I think I found an explanation for how the GunCon 1 works. It says it uses the cathode ray timing method to determine where the barrel is aimed at on the screen when the trigger is pulled. What is the cathode ray timing?
So it detects
Oh,
which line is being drawn and where the line in the
oh,
scanning
yeah.
process is. Because you can actually see that with a high speed camera. You can not only
Yep.
see the line being drawn, but you can actually see it being drawn phosphor by phosphor.
Yep.
Okay, interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah, it has a button on the side there. That's the cover button. Well,
Mhm.
actually, it's the get out of cover button. You would pinch it. So you would use this with two hands, which you would need to do anyway because it's fairly large. And you would use that to step out of cover and then shoot at the screen. This was also the case for the arcade version. You would also use in the arcade version you there was like a foot pedal that you would use, but the foot pedal has become a button on the GunCon. Yeah, I mean, Time Crisis is a ton of fun. It worked really well on the PS1. I had a blast playing with that, but of course, you need a CRT to play it, so
Yeah.
not a problem
It's a
for
tough
me.
one.
But yeah, for people who don't have CRTs, it's an issue.
This is a tough one. I don't know what to give it on this one.
I mean, the GunCon works really.
Lasted longer.
The GunCon, well, yeah,
There was three. It spanned like 2 or 3 generations.
yeah, but there's only a few games that use it.
True. Satellaview had 114 games, and it was very innovative. I think my vote's for Satellaview. It's so cool.
Yeah, I'd have to agree because they both work. They both were effective at what they did, but the Satellaview did different things.
Yeah, it was just more unique. I mean, GunCon's just a light gun. It's a light gun that works.
It's a great light gun, and the games that you use with it are great.
But it's still a light gun in comparison to something as innovative.
It's not as groundbreaking as the Satellaview. I agree.
Satellaview moves on. All right, so that is the end of the first bracket, which means we got to start making decisions about what's going to make it to the final. So it's going to take us back to the top. So we have Zapper versus Connect.
We're not going off to the other side first?
We do once we or it'll move us over there once we determine who's going to be going up against that side.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's how it works. So Zapper and Connect. Zapper, I would say.
I mean,
it's more fun.
It's yeah,
and it works better. I mean, Connect had issues.
Yeah,
I mean, it was more complicated device.
Yeah,
but you know, if I was to look back and go,
which one did I have more fun playing with?
Yeah, was there a Connect game that I had more fun with than Duck Hunt?
Not really. Which is like, it's both really depressing and a tremendous indictment of what developers did with the Connect. Like, I realized that it was kind of dumped on people, and so it never got used to its full potential. But also, we gotta rate them based on what they actually did with it and not what they could have done with it. So yeah, there's like the Zapper is really simple, but that also made it really easy to make games for.
Exactly.
God, can you imagine having to fucking do QA for Connect games?
Oh God, what a nightmare!
Like, what is that?
Well, I mean, you'd lose weight.
Yeah, you'd lose weight, I guess.
You'd get fit.
Oh,
right,
God.
Zapper moves on. Fishing rod versus Dex Drive.
I gotta go with the Dex Drive. I mean, that thing is being able to back up your saves, man. That is so important.
It's a tough one because fishing rod worked really well. It was fun.
Dex Drive worked,
but I'm not saying it didn't. I'm just like, I will say the Dex Drive is more innovative than the fishing rod.
And is usable with any game that saves to the memory card, which on the PlayStation is all of them.
That's true. All right, Dex Drive moves on.
Yeah. Well, I think we got to give it to the mobile adapter because it does something different other than just what, you know. Well,
Fire!
I guess it's basically an extremely long range game link cable, but that's way more useful than a zapper that only works if you say fire, fire, fire.
I agree.
Yeah.
Mobile adapter it is. It's got to be Rock Band, right?
Yeah, I mean, people had way more fun with those games than I think anybody ever did with fucking Corpse Killer.
God, that game's bad. Rock Band moves on.
It's got the guy who was the subway ghost in Ghost.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Satellaview, right?
Satellaview, yeah.
Yeah. All right. What do we got now? Zapper versus Dex Drive.
I mean, I got to go with the Dex Drive again.
Yeah, this is where the Dex Drive wins over on innovation, for sure.
Just utility.
Yeah. Rock Band, for sure.
Yeah, Rock Band.
Oof. This one's tough. I would say Rock Band will have a better chance than the Dex Drive will against the other half of this list.
I don't know, man. Like, the fact that the Dex Drive is, like, there's no way where it's not useful, because in what situation would you not want to back up your save data? And guess what? When you move on from the PS1 or the N64 and you never touch the thing again, it takes up a fraction of the space in your closet compared to the Rock Band stuff.
That's true. That's true. That's true. All right, we'll give it to the Dex Drive.
Yeah. And if you pulled out the PS1, guess what? You could put all your old saves back on it and play them again if you still had them backed up, which why wouldn't you? They're kilobytes in the face of terabyte hard drives.
It's true. All right, that means we're moving on to the second bracket, which starts with... Oh, no. We forgot about the Satellaview.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to give it to the Satellaview. It's so cool. It's so cool.
It's cool, but it's no longer of use.
Neither is the Dex Drive, really.
But you can use it.
You can use it, but
you can't use the Satellaview anymore.
I think the Satellaview is way more innovative than the Dex Drive, though. The Dex Drive is literally a memory card backup.
It's a memory card backup,
and was super useful.
That is incredibly useful, and
for at the time though, Satellaview was like way ahead of its time.
Definitely ahead of its time, but again, the fact that it only works with the games that are made for it, and those games, some of them can only be played when they're broadcasting the service. I don't know, man. Like I like what the Satellaview is doing, but like I just think back at like all the saves I would have loved to back up with the Dex Drive. Like it's one of these things that's just such a great idea. It's a simple single utility, but it's so incredibly useful. It's tough. It is tough because you're talking about a thing that does one thing, but is like an incredibly helpful thing versus something that's kind of weird and doesn't work anymore. But when it did work, it did some cool stuff. It's
some badass things.
It's tough, but like,
and it was so futuristic back then. Like I couldn't only imagine having that in North America.
Games,
like
getting games from space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting games from space may have convinced them. Yeah. But it's not even just that. It's just the fact that they had that live element.
Yeah.
Like that must have blown minds back then of just being like, wait, this is happening right now?
Somebody's in a studio talking to us all right now.
Yeah, like that's so cool. And it's interactive.
Yeah.
It's a coin flip.
You might have sold me on the Satellaview. It's just I think back to when I lost my Final Fantasy VII save and how the Dex Drive could have prevented that, and like the trauma is still there.
The trauma.
It's deep seated.
That just means you get to play the game again, though. It's a great game.
It is a great game. Yeah. You know what? I will go with the Satellaview. The innovation is definitely worth something.
Hey, second place ain't bad for
no,
Dex Drive.
It's not.
It beat the Zapper.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. All right, moving on to the second bracket. Oh boy,
Oh no!
here we go.
Oh no!
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Game Boy printer against the Sega Activator.
Yeah.
So let's go with the printer first. So we kind of already spoke about this.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we said, it has that little black and white printing capability right here,
it's like
which
a
is
thermal printer. So like the thing that prints out a receipt at a point of sale, it's that kind of paper.
Yeah, and it's actually quite detailed in how it prints things out.
They actually looked pretty good. They're like little postage stamp sized printouts, but if you got the Game Boy printer paper, they were also stickers.
Ah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I did not know that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, you could get like the specialty sticker paper where you could peel them off.
It's too bad that this thing wasn't like you could take screenshots and print them out.
Yeah, that would have been
that
awesome.
would make it so cool. Because like I can picture like me as a kid with like my school binder. Just I'd print off millions of these things and put them on my school binder. You know.
Yeah.
But the fact that I could only take pictures really of things that were taken with the camera.
Well, it could connect to certain games and have special printouts, like Link's Awakening Deluxe. You remember the one that had the Game Boy Color compatibility?
Yep.
That had special moments that you could print off. It was like little pixelated art of like Link and Malin meeting for the first time, like on the beach, where she finds them, stuff like that. You could print out those scenes as
that's cool
as stickers.
You know what they should have done with this thing is they should have had like if you're like, for example, in Zelda, if you were playing something like if there was a puzzle, it should like you have to find something and then it prints out the solution to the puzzle or something like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be like that's like Vita like,
Yeah.
Like I remember with the Vita, you had to like hold it up to a light to like see through paper and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, with the camera and it would yeah.
Pretty cool. But yeah, it's a printer.
It's a printer. It's kind of neat, but it's a printer.
It's a printer. Now, on the other hand,
the activator. Yeah. Okay. So here's how the activator works. Well, first, let me tell you how they sold
it. Doesn't.
Yeah. Well, here's how they sell it to you. They say it translates your movements into in-game action. And that makes you think that if you do a punch in real life, it'll do a punch in the game. But I remember even as a kid going, wait, what if I do something like that's not programmed into the game? Like, what if I smack myself in the face? Is the character in the game, like, they're going to have to draw artwork for that, aren't they? Like, it's not just going to invent new frames. So I was like, okay, how does this thing really work? And my dad actually figured it out. And I didn't confirm this until years later. But he figured it out. My dad is an engineer, so that doesn't come as much surprise. But he figured it out. He had this thing dead to rights. There are infrared beams emitted from those 8 faces.
Triangles.
And they correspond to buttons on the Genesis controller. So you've got forwards, backwards, left, right, A, B, C, and start. And that's it. And you block one of those beams of light, and it's the same as pressing the button. That's so all it fucking is.
Piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, what were they thinking? Like, who wants to do... You have to, like, remember which direction to go, and you can't see the beams.
Yeah.
So it's not like you could just be like...
Yeah, it's not like one of those laser harps, which at least looks cool.
Oh, that would be so cool if it was like that.
Yeah,
it's not.
If it was at least a visible beam, you could look like you were doing some kind of Minority Report shit.
Yeah.
Right? You'd be visibly interacting with something, but it's an infrared laser beam, so you can't see shit.
No.
Yeah, it's just a shittier way of using a controller. So, Game Boy printer.
Game Boy printer it is. That's so funny. All right, we got the DK bongos versus the DDR mat.
Yeah, the DDR mat, which technically isn't all that different from what we just looked at, except the game that it's built for is fun.
Yeah. So the DK bongos were specifically built for Donkey Kong.
Donkey Konga,
which was just like a rhythm game,
if
I remember correctly, featuring Donkey Kong. I never played it.
Well, you slap the bongos, you clap your hands. It's got like a microphone to detect clapping. Yeah. It's purpose built for one game and one game only.
And it's fucking huge.
Yeah.
That's a big peripheral for one game.
Yeah. More plastic crap in your closet.
Yeah. And then the other one was the DDR map, which very popular.
The DDR map is also technically built for one game, but I mean you could use it for just about anything because it is still PlayStation.
Controller.
Well, does it have R1 and L1 on it? I don't think it does.
No.
So as long as it doesn't need any of the shoulder buttons, it'll work. But it's really meant for DDR. And there were a number of these things. The thing to get was like the hard mat, which had like anti-slip feet on it, because this thing is soft and you kind of slide around on it a little bit. But
it was designed to be folded up, so you could store it.
Yeah, that's the other thing is that the hard mats can't be folded.
Yeah.
So it basically comes down to, do you like Dance Dance Revolution? Well, here's really the only way to play it. I mean, unless you want to use the fucking D-pad on the controller.
It worked really well. We had one.
Yeah. I didn't have one. My sister did.
Yeah, it was my sister's, but everyone in the family.
Yeah, and I've also played DDR in the arcade. It's fun. I'm not very good at it, but it's fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think we have to give it to DDR just because
absolutely.
It lasted for more than one game, and it worked really well, and
you could technically use it for other things if you were crazy.
All right, DDR moves on. Now we got the Move versus Labo.
Oh boy!
So, whoa, craziness! So we got the Move. Obviously, this was PlayStation's response to the Wii.
Yeah, and it's just that it's the Wii remote. But
it's actually slightly better.
Well,
I have one,
but because
the Wii remote was basically just like a gyro sensor, essentially.
Yeah.
With an infrared thing at the top for certain things.
Yeah.
They
enhanced it later on with there was an attachment you could get, and later ones just had it built in. Yeah, Motion Plus, which is like because the Wii controller was, I think, an accelerometer which measures changes in speed, and a tilt sensor. The Motion Plus actually had like the gyroscope, so it could like really determine its place in physical space and not just its angle and how fast it was moving.
Yeah.
So it made it much more accurate, and it was necessary for games like Red Steel 2, which mapped the sword controls 1-to-1 with your movement. And this had that from the beginning, but also like it only works with a few games. Whereas every game on the Wii uses...
Beg to differ, sir.
Really?
So I would say this is definitely better than the Wii Remote. It used a camera which tracked that little orb on the top, and also the orientation of the controller coming off of it. Mm-hmm. So in the games, like you could do like weird angles and stuff. It would be able to track that 1-to-1.
It did mean that you'd have the big stupid reflection on your TV, though, that really kind of killed the mood.
It did. That was kind of dumb.
That was the same problem with Until Dawn, because you have those things where you need to hold the controller still, and it does it by measuring, like it has like the light on the PS4 controller, and it's like, oh, you got to hold it still, and it shows you with that thing. But that damn light is always reflecting in the screen. It's like, oh man, this spooky game, and then the blue triangle just flying around there.
Yeah, when they switched to the next controller and the light was on top, I was like, okay, that's better.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this thing worked great, and it did work for a lot of games because they ended up using this for the VR.
Oh, that's right, they did, didn't they?
Yeah, so in order to use VR, you had to have one of these, or two of these, technically.
Yeah.
And it worked really well. I don't have mine anymore. It got lost in a move, unfortunately. Get it? But it worked really well. It was very comfortable. I thought it was more comfortable than the remote because it was round.
Yeah.
And not square.
I'm just going to say it because it has to be said.
Don't say it.
Yeah, I'm going to say it.
We're family friendly.
No, you know what it looks like.
Yes, I do.
It looks like one of those shoulder massagers.
It does. Except it's not, because the bulb on top is like rubber, so you can like squish it. It's like I don't know what to compare it to, but it's not a hard surface.
Yeah.
It's I think I'm assuming they designed it that way so that it wouldn't break.
Or so that people wouldn't go into emergency rooms where they'd insert it into various orifices.
That's possible. But yeah, no, I thought it worked really great. It was really cool. The best use of it that I ever played was the archery. Because you would have two, so you'd have to go you'd have to put it behind you to take an arrow out, and then
was that the Horizon archery thing?
No, it was their version of Wii Sports. It was I can't remember the name of it, but
Move Games.
Yeah, it was a Move
Olympics.
I don't know if it was a pack-in or if it was a.
God, I hope
but
it was.
Great. It was great either way, but it was cool. And then the other one here is the Nintendo Labo.
Yeah.
Which was very popular when it started.
For a hot minute, yeah.
Yeah, and then it kind of just went away, and now I don't think it's supported at all with the Switch 2, so it's just kind of dead now. But it was basically a cardboard mixed with technology toy. It was kind of, have you ever heard of Crunch Labs?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Crunch Labs before. I don't know. I'm actually kind of curious who came first, Crunch Labs or Labo.
Cardboard came first. Do you remember that thing? Their little cardboard VR thing.
Oh god,
and Nintendo had one as well for this.
That was terrible. Yeah,
but it was cheap. That was the point.
Yeah, well, it was cheap and it didn't work properly.
Yeah,
it was awful. If you want VR, you got to buy a VR headset.
Yeah,
I remember people putting their phones up to their faces, and I'm like, you guys,
I've used one of those before. Now it was, I will say, it was the Samsung Gear VR, which is like basically a headset that you slide your phone into. It was better than I was expecting. I had pretty low expectations, I will say, but it did work.
Yeah. Labo worked great.
Yeah.
You know, it was basically Crunch Labs.
Yeah.
And now Crunch Labs is the new Labo.
Yeah. Except it's still going.
Yeah, Crunch Labs is still going. Labo's kind of done.
Yeah.
I guess we have to give it to the Move.
For anybody, by the way, who doesn't know what Crunch Labs is, Mark Rober, who's like a big YouTuber, like engineer guy. He worked for NASA. He does like really cool science and engineering videos, and he has a monthly like a toy kit for kids. It's a thing that's like basically
to promote science and engineering to kids.
Yeah, cardboard and plastic little science kits that you put together, and it's like, here's a little catapult or a little, proof
of concept kind of stuff,
potato launcher kind of,
Yeah, it's neat.
Yeah,
it's super neat.
They're apparently pretty cool.
Yeah, he came to our town once.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he came here to the university to meet with one of the teachers there. I guess he's like one of North America's leading experts on escape room, theory and escape room.
Oh, that's a Mark Rober thing for sure. That'd be right up his alley.
He came here to learn the best ways to solve an escape room.
Oh, yeah.
And so he talked to this guy, and he was here. I watched the video, and because I didn't know, and I was watching the video, and all of a sudden he's driving down Wayne Gretzky Parkway, and I'm like, what? And he's goes past the Gretzky Center, and I'm like, and he's downtown. I'm like, holy shit, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Who knew we would have something like that here?
Fucking. A mutual acquaintance of ours once told me that he was going to a Whitest Kids You Know show here in town. This was like a decade ago. And I was like, I'm so fucking jealous of you, dude. I had no idea that they were coming, because if I did, I would have got tickets.
Yeah. We don't get big things here very often.
No.
I don't think Mark Rober was here for that though. Like, he was specifically here to meet this guy and film it and then leave.
Yeah.
Back to this though. I would put the Move ahead of the Labo. Labo's cool, but it died. So did the Move, but the Move had like legs.
Yeah. Labo.
They were able to.
Yeah, and the thing with Labo is you had to buy a different kit for each thing.
That's true. It was expensive.
Yeah.
All right, Move.
I've always wanted to try that robot backpack thing just for the sheer joy of going, robot. It probably wouldn't even fit on an adult.
No, I wanted to try the piano. I thought the piano would be pretty cool. But all right, moves on. All right, we got the Game Boy Pocket Sonar versus the Game Gear TV Tuner. Funny how that one ended up.
Yeah,
that's cool.
The pocket sonar, man, that is a weird niche thing, but apparently it works really well, actually.
Yeah, I went and watched a couple of videos, and it does. It works really well.
It totally works. And the thing that's actually really cool about it is it has a little fish encyclopedia. So you can try and figure out what it is you've caught if you're not familiar with it.
What is this?
Yeah.
Very cool.
It is entirely in Japanese.
It was never released here, right?
Which makes sense because Japan is an island nation, so
very
fishing and seafood are a big thing there. I'm a little surprised that this maybe didn't get released anywhere else, but I guess like how many serious anglers are going to have a Game Boy, right?
Yeah, especially gaming wasn't huge at that time. It was getting bigger. It was, coming back.
If you did this kind of thing for cell phones today, and I'm 100% sure that these kind of accessories exist, because why wouldn't they? Like everybody's got a phone. It'd be a huge
slam dunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any idea what the yellow thing is? Like, is that like?
Oh, that is like the floater. Like the bob that so you can see like where it is.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's cool. It's kind of crazy that this thing is like, that it exists. Like you can own sonar. Like it's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, you can go to like a Bass Pro Shop and get a device that's specifically built for this with like a little LCD screen on it.
Back then, though, you'd probably have to pay a lot of money for something like that.
For something like that, they would have cost more money than they do today. I mean, it's it's like anything. It's like, can you imagine trying to buy an infrared camera in the 90s? These days, you can get a FLIR. I mean, they're pricey. I think a FLIR is like something like $1,000 or something. But if you work in the business of like, let's say, home inspection, which is what those things are for, to find like hot spots in the walls and stuff, like that's a business expense, and it can be really helpful.
I gotta buy my dad a fishing sonar.
Yeah,
he'd probably like that. He fishes all the time. All right, what's this other one?
I haven't been fishing in a long time, but I did enjoy it the last time I did it.
It's relaxing.
Yeah,
it's chill. You don't need to catch anything. You just need to be outside.
Yeah,
that's basically the gist of it. All right, the other one is the Game Gear TV tuners thing. It looks hilarious.
Man, I wanted this thing so bad when I was a kid. This is an over. First of all, there used to be a thing called television that people watched before YouTube. Secondly, you used to get it over the airwaves. Yeah, it wasn't just cable. You can there is still over the air television. It still exists, but it's not analog anymore. It's a digital signal now. So this thing is useless. This thing does not work anymore.
No.
I mean, the device still works, but it doesn't pick up anything because nobody's broadcasting on those frequencies anymore. But I believe it does have a video in, so you could still use your Game Gear to like watch a DVD.
I don't know. I have no idea. You could, I suppose.
So this thing, it only had like a few channels because there were only a few over the air channels. I think there were 13. Yeah, and so you could tune it for UHF or VHF, which is ultra high frequency and very high frequency back when that was a thing.
Very high frequency.
Yeah. I never got to use one. I really wanted to, but I never got to use one. And I never will now because they don't, pick up anything. You just get static on them now.
Yeah. Plus you need a Game Gear.
I mean, I have a Game Gear.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I never had one. My buddy had one, but I never had one.
Well, now you got two buddies who have one.
Well, no, I don't know that buddy anymore.
Oh.
I had a buddy.
Well, I don't know. You still have one buddy who has a Game Gear.
That's true. That's true. The stats haven't changed.
Yeah, I need to clean that thing out because I left batteries in it for 20 years.
The acid is real.
Yeah, I need to get it some Q-tips and some lemon juice and do some surgery.
Yikes! Wow, this one's tough. I don't know what to give. My gut says the sonar. Because it's just so crazy.
I mean, it would have been really cool to have the Game Gear TV tuner, but it would have depended on what was on TV.
Yeah.
And it no longer works.
Yeah. Sonar still works today.
I don't really go fishing, but if I did, it would be a neat thing to have.
Yeah.
These are both kind of novelties that are just kind of cool, but I think I guess if it comes down to it, you could feed yourself using the pocket sonar. You can't do that with the Game Gear TV. Like if you're hungry,
Yeah,
you
the TV tuner is now completely useless.
yeah, it's
So
now completely useless
yeah,
aside from that video in.
it
But
is very cool though.
yeah, oh god, the ability to have TV on the go back then, that was like the future.
Yeah,
It turned out to not be the future because nobody
it
gives
turned
two
out to be
fucks
the
about.
past.
Yeah, nobody cares about television these days. But
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Sonar moves on.
Sonar moves on.
Sonar moves on. All right, what we got next? The Sega Dreamcast keyboard versus what is this again?
This is the Nintendo Power, not to be confused with the magazine.
The Power Writer. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me find it. So I don't think there's a whole lot to say about this.
It's a keyboard.
It's a keyboard, but it was extremely useful because of one particular game.
Phantasy Star Online.
Yeah, and even I played that and was amazed.
Oh my god!
I was just blown away.
Different, like so. Okay, PSO had a really cool feature where you could build up pre-made phrases that were also pre-translated and use that to communicate with people. But there were only so many of them. You know, it was. It's kind of like a more complex version of how you could build messages in like Elden Ring to leave on the ground, except this was like long form sentences. But there were still only so many of them. You could type using the on screen keyboard and the controller if you wanted to have a terrible time, or you could get the keyboard and use that. Yep. But the best way to do this was if you had a buddy who would use the keyboard and you would tell them what to type while you played the game. So
that's exactly how I played this.
Yeah, this is how I. And the funny thing is that we didn't do this together, you and I. We never played this game together, but we both had a friend who we would do this with. And my God, it was the best. And you would play for like an hour, and then you would trade off, and your friend would play his game, and you would type for him. Oh my God,
so cool!
It was awesome. It was the best way to play.
This was really like my first experience with like online gaming, and I think it was probably most people's first experience online gaming until Xbox Live came out.
Yeah, at least on a game console, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
For the few of us who had a Dreamcast or a buddy with a Dreamcast.
Anyway. Yeah. I think PSO is the first console game I played online. I mean, other than like I guess Sega Swirl. Which was like a demo that came with another thing that you could use this with, the Dreamcast web browser.
Yeah.
Which I also had.
That's true.
Which
it's too bad they didn't make the keyboard more interesting. It's just a white keyboard.
Yeah, I mean it's a keyboard. It's a keyboard with a Dreamcast controller on the cable. So it can only be used. I mean, you could probably rewire it to work as like a USB keyboard, but obviously that's way more work than it's worth. It's just a keyboard, but it was tremendously useful.
It was, the moments I will treasure forever.
A lot of fun
talking to those mysterious people.
Also, you could do like freaky emotes only with the keyboard. They weren't accessible with. It was like the function keys would do special animations. In PSO2, you could like do dance moves or whatever. You know, just a neat little thing.
And the other one is the Power Cart Writer.
Yeah. So here's how this worked. There was one for the Game Boy as well, as you can see there. This is a Super Nintendo and Game Boy, well, Super Famicom cartridge that has rewritable storage on it, and you could go to a location. There were these kiosks, and you could buy digital copies of games and have them written to the blank space on the cartridge. Sounds like a great idea. Slight problem. The cartridge, the storage space is minuscule. These things only had, I think, 2 megabytes of space, which actually limits not only how many games you can have on there, but also which games can go on there. Because there are Super Nintendo games that are larger than 2 megabytes. I think the largest game on the Super Nintendo, at least officially, and not counting like homebrew stuff, was 6 megabytes. I want to say that was probably like Street Fighter Alpha, because that game is like chock fucking full of artwork, like high resolution sprite artwork.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Star Ocean as well, because Star Ocean had like voice acting in it, only in a few spots, but I mean that shit takes up space.
It says
Yeah.
the Tales of Fantasia and Star Ocean.
Oh, Tales of Fantasia. Right. That's another big game.
They were 48 megabits of ROM data.
Yeah.
And the smallest games were 2 megabits.
Yeah. So that translates to 6 megabytes.
6 megabytes.
And then like the smallest game is like half a megabyte, I think.
Yeah.
F-Zero.
Crazy small.
F-Zero is half a megabyte in size.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, when you think about it, it's basically like it looks really fancy, but it's just a large image that's being rotated with the Mode 7 effect. So it's actually not as complicated as it seems. It seems like it'd be made up of hundreds and hundreds of sprites, but it's actually not.
So did people go to like these kiosks and they were like selling games and they loaded them onto this thing?
So here's how this worked. They would have these kiosks at like convenience stores and stuff, right?
Yeah,
and
malls, probably.
you would and malls and stuff like that. And you would have, I guess, like a like a bank card or a credit card or something to make the payment. And then it would print out a receipt, and you would go to the counter, right, where the person is working, and they would have a cartridge writer behind the counter that they would put the cartridge in, and then they would punch in like the number of the game and have it loaded in there. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't just you just insert your cartridge at the kiosk. The kiosk is just where you pay for it. The actual writing happens with a different device, and they have to know how to use that device. And apparently not everybody was trained to use it. So you'd have people like looking up in the manual how to load a game onto a cartridge. It was apparently a real stop and go kind of procedure, and not smoothly executed. Nintendo would do this a little bit better with the iQ, but that's a different story. So yeah, you could only have very small games or like one moderately large game on there. I don't know what the capacity of the Game Boy cartridge was, but the thing is, neither one of these was tremendously successful. It was an early attempt at digital distribution, which is, neat idea. But because rewritable like solid state memory cost so much back then, that's why the storage capacity was so small. It's not like today where you can get SD cards that have 64 gigabytes for like $30. This was space was at a premium back then, so there just weren't that many games you could fit on this thing. And this wasn't tied to any kind of account. So if you deleted a game to make space for something else, and then you
can't get it back.
Well, you can, but you have to buy it again.
You have to buy it again.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
that's what's surprising about that is that this service still lasted a decade.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was around for a while, but it was not very well implemented.
No. Cool that they did that in such an early time, though.
Yeah, and this was like, again, another end of life thing for the Super Nintendo. This, I believe, hit
it launched in '97.
Yeah, so this wasn't we're putting out new games on this thing. This is, hey, if you're still playing the Super Nintendo, but you're having trouble finding the games still in circulation, here's an unlimited supply of them as digital data. Just
think about this for a second. The service was still available up until February 2007, which was the year the PS3 was re-released.
Yep.
That's crazy. Wow.
And digital distribution only really took off as a mainstream thing in that generation of consoles.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yep.
Wow. That's so crazy. What a cool thing, though. I wonder why they did. Well, I was going to wonder why they didn't implement it here, but it makes total sense why they didn't implement it here.
Yeah, It
didn't go well over
neat
there.
idea, but not kind of half baked.
Yeah, train your people better, and you got to make sure that cartridge has a little bit more space.
Yeah,
probably would have done well.
The IQ kiosks, you downloaded them directly from the kiosk. You didn't have to have a person
Right.
like operating it for you or with a special writer. It was just straight from that thing, which is why the IQ did a little bit better with that.
I have a picture of the Famicom writer, the actual thing that people used.
Sure. Yes, I've seen these. Yep.
It's crazy. It's so
Yep,
crazy.
there's the slot for the Famicom one and for the Game Boy one.
That's so
and even
crazy.
the Nintendo Power logo looks a lot like that from the magazine. It's not entirely the same, but it's very similar.
No. Yeah, bad naming convention for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's a crazy one.
Yeah.
So let me reorganize myself here. Man, I don't know what to give it here.
Yeah, because one is just a keyboard, but it works flawlessly, and the other one is a really cool, novel idea for the time, but it was really badly implemented.
I don't know. I got to give it to the writer. It's so innovative, and it did last 10 years. It's not like it was a complete flop.
Years.
Yeah,
There were some good games you could get on it. If you went
there
to
was
a
list
place,
here.
If you went to a place where the person knew how to use the writer, and you only wanted to get the smaller games, you could have some fun with it.
Yeah, here's a notable list of Super Famicom games that was you were able to put on it. F-Zero.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 Fire Emblem games.
Yeah.
Mother 2, SimCity, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Super Punch-Out, Dr. Mario, another Fire Emblem game, Link to the Past. It's a pretty good list.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many of those would fit on the particular system, but that's pretty good. And that's just first-party games.
Yeah.
There's a whole list of third-party games as well. I'm not going to go into it, though, because that list is way bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of hits from the Super Nintendo library, but
how many of those will fit simultaneously is the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the cartridges, I think they cost the equivalent of about $40 at the time, so it was cheaper than buying the games new. But between the cartridge and the cost of the games, it didn't really come out to much less.
Yeah.
And if it was if you wanted Super Metroid on that thing, you'd have to devote the entire cartridge to it because Super Metroid is a 2 megabyte game.
Right.
So you're basically, instead of paying like the equivalent of $60 for Super Metroid, you're paying the equivalent of about $50 for Super Metroid. So and if you could find a secondhand copy of Super Metroid at that point, you could probably get that for less.
Yeah, you would want to be strategic in which games you put on this thing.
Yeah.
There's probably an optimized list.
Yeah, it would be for hard to find games that were also small in size that you didn't already have. Like, I can't imagine buying Super Mario World for this thing. Because I don't know if it was a pack-in title in Japan, but it was a pack-in title here.
Yeah.
So, it's a cool idea. And there is definitely, like you said, there's an optimized list of what the best thing, what the most bang for your buck
best combos.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one's just a keyboard.
The other one is just a keyboard.
It could have just been any other keyboard. So I would give it to the writer.
I will also give it to the Nintendo Power writer service.
All right.
But I just wish it was handled better because, man, it would have been a cool thing to have and work well.
So here we have the Super Scope versus the Guitar Hero controller.
Yeah.
So this is the Super Scope.
I have one of these.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it missing the eyepiece? Because most of the ones that I find are missing the eyepiece. You got the eyepiece?
No, I do. I believe I still do have the eyepiece.
That's crazy. Yeah, my uncle had a Super Scope, but the eyepiece was missing.
Yeah, the eyepiece is intentionally detachable. By the way, it doesn't just break off. Because you could swap it to either side for right or left-handed use.
Yeah.
So,
and you really didn't necessarily need it.
It's not.
It just
not
helps you aim,
but it helps. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's a bazooka.
Yeah, it's a big light gun bazooka.
Yeah.
Um, it's a little finickier than the Zapper because it does need calibration. It does need the IR emitter on the
Yeah.
TV. But when it works, it works. It also still
Yeah.
needs a CRT for some reason. Um,
Let me see if I can find out why. Let's see.
this had a few games. There was Super Scope 6, which was basically a bunch of mini games. There was oh god, there was like a mech game, and then there was a sequel to it that I think had a different name. There was Metal Combat 2, and then there was like the first Metal Combat game was called something else.
Here we go.
I forget.
I found the list. So we got Battle Clash.
Battle Clash, that's what it was called.
We got Bazooka Blitzkrieg. The Hunt for Red October.
Oh, really? Movie tie-in.
Lamborghini. Yeah. Lamborghini American Challenge.
What would you? That's a racing game.
It features an optional Super Scope exclusive mode.
Oh, I didn't know
what
that.
means. Lemmings 2.
Really? I didn't know that.
It says a secret Easter egg allows the Super Scope to destroy lemmings.
Oh,
That's funny. So you can't really play with it, but it does something in the game.
I think that game works with the Super Nintendo mouse as well.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah. Lemmings 1 does not, but Lemmings 2, I believe, does, which is really the way to play it. I've played Lemmings. I've actually spent more time playing Lemmings on the Super Nintendo than I have on DOS, which is kind of frightening.
Me too.
But, yeah, you definitely want the mouse. The controller, it works okay, but you definitely want the mouse.
Yeah. Metal Combat.
Yeah, which is the sequel to Battle Clash.
Oh, okay. Operation Thunderbolt.
Oh, that's an arcade game, I believe.
Taito.
Yep.
Taito. Super Scope 6. Terminator 2, the arcade game, just like with the Menacer. Tin Star. X Zone.
Oh man, there are more games for this thing than I realized.
And Yoshi Safari.
Yoshi Safari is one of the ones that I have.
Yeah. I remember Yoshi Safari, Super Scope 6, and T2. I remember those three for sure. I don't remember Battle Clash. Let me see if I can remember. Oh yeah. It was like it was basically like a Godzilla killer type game, right?
Yeah, something like that.
You killed like big monsters.
I remember playing Metal Combat 2, and that game was pretty fun.
Metal Combat.
You're basically.
It looks exactly the same.
Yeah, because it's a sequel.
Yeah, it looks exactly the same.
Yeah,
that's cool. Let me see if I can find out how the Super Scope works. Okay, here it is. Super Scope makes use of. Oh, it uses the. I think it uses the same as the GunCon.
Oh, okay.
It says, in short, the screen is drawn by scanning electron beam that travels horizontally across each line of the screen from top to bottom. A fast photodiode will see any particular area of the screen illuminated only briefly at that point is scanned, while the human eye will see a consistent image due to persistence vision. Blah blah blah. So the Super Scope takes. It says it takes advantage of this in a simple manner. It simply outputs a 0 signal when it sees the television raster scan. Is that how you say it? Raster scan?
Yeah.
Right. And a 1 signal when it does not. Inside the console, the signal is delivered to the PPU, which notes which screen pixel it is outputting at the moment the signal transitions from 1 to 0. At the end of the frame, the game software can retrieve this stored position to determine where on the screen the gun was aimed.
And that'll be where the shot goes. Okay.
And that was where the shot goes.
Cool. So I wonder what the IR sensor was for then.
Yeah, it did have an IR sensor.
Yeah, because you had to put it on top of your TV.
I don't know. It says the Super Scope ignores red light, as do many guns of this type, because red phosphors have a much slower rate of decay than green or blue phosphors. Since the Super Scope depends on the short persistence and scan pattern of CRT pixels, it will not function with modern displays. Yeah, I don't know why it has an eye.
Apparently, it doesn't even work with flat screen CRTs. It has to be with the curved screen, which most of them were.
Yeah. It says the receiver must be placed on above the screen and connected to the system's second controller port for play. Yeah, I don't know what the point of the receiver is. That's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just, maybe that's the trigger for where it goes 1 to 0. Like it sees it, like that's how it receives the signal. Maybe.
Oh no, you know what I bet it is? I bet it's for the button presses. I bet the button presses are yeah, you know what? That's got to be it. Cuz you see that
Cuz so it's seeing that thing. So the receiver is like a
Yeah, cuz you don't connect this to this, like there's no cord.
No,
so
it's wireless.
So you see the red thing there? That'll be the sensor for scanning the TV. On top of it, there's another thing. I bet that's an IR blaster like in a TV remote. And it detects which button you're pressing, and it sends out like a pulsed signal, like a
funny.
TV remote. That's got to be what it is. I bet if you held a super scope up to like a camera, like on your phone, and pressed a button, you'd be able to see that thing blinking.
That's so cool. I wonder if
that's got to be what it is.
I wonder if, not I wonder if, I think it's really cool that we've talked about 3 different light guns and they all work kind of differently.
Yeah.
It's cool. They all kind of figured out different ways of accomplishing the same task.
Yeah.
Kind of a cool idea.
And none of them work with modern televisions.
None of them work. Well, GunCon 3 does.
Yeah, well, yeah. But they basically looked at this thing and they said, how do we reverse engineer interactivity from the way this works? And they did it. It's cool.
Yep. The other one is the Guitar Hero Guitar. So this one I've definitely played, and I suck at these games. I suck at these games. You basically have to hit the that little white.
Yeah, that represents the where you would strum a guitar, and then each of those colored buttons represents like frets you would hold down.
Exactly. Yeah. The problem for me was I have pretty small hands, so I can't reach all 5 buttons without having to move my hand.
Yeah, there was a DS version of this, and I think it only had 4 on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Which they, by the way, they used the fret buttons went in as
that may have been Rock Band.
As a no,
I think that was Rock Band Unplugged. I think was the name of that.
Was it Rock Band? It might have been.
Yeah, or maybe it was Guitar Hero Unplugged.
But it was a GBA cartridge that would go in the GBA slot on the original DS.
Gotcha. This one's interesting.
I mean, I like the Super Scope because you shoot shit with it.
They both worked. They both worked well.
They're both giant pieces of plastic taking up space in people's closets.
They are, and they both only work with specific games.
Mm-hmm.
This is a dead heat. Like I
like the Super Scope just because I like the shooting games more than I like music games. That's what it comes down to for me.
The Guitar Hero controller was way more successful, though.
Yeah, but it really comes down to which kind of game do you like? Do you like?
Well, I don't know about that because they could have used the Zapper instead of the Super Scope for the Super Scope games. What was the benefit of having this big ass thing besides it being cool? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Yeah. Like that's kind of where why I'm leaning towards the Guitar Hero because it was first. It was before Rock Band.
Yeah.
So we have that on for its innovation there.
I mean, the Super Scope is wireless, so you don't have to be like
that is true.
A specific distance from your TV.
And back then, that was a big thing.
Yeah, although it did chew through batteries like fast.
Yes, it did, and they were big, the big freaking fat.
No, they weren't.
D's, weren't they?
No, they were AA's, but it took like 6 of them.
Oh my god!
And
Okay, I just for that alone, I got to give it to the Guitar controller. I hated replacing batteries back then.
Yeah,
oh my god, I hate doing it now. I have an Xbox controller. Why is that thing not rechargeable?
Well, I use rechargeable batteries. I use rechargeable AA's.
I used to, and then I was just like, they get weaker and weaker over time, and then eventually I'm just like,
they do.
I could just put a regular battery in there and it'll work for like 3 or 4 months. I don't know.
Yeah, but we're getting off on a different subject here, but I've been using the same 10 rechargeable AA's for probably like 5 or 6 years now. So they do give
if you round them like that. Yeah,
they do give you more life than just the single use AA's. But these are also modern. rechargeable AA's.
Yeah,
Back in the
then.
90s, rechargeable AA's were garbage.
Yeah, they were terrible. Yeah, I'd give this one to the Guitar Hero.
I think we're gonna have to give it to the Guitar Hero thing, because when I think about how that thing just devoured batteries.
Oh yeah, as soon as you mentioned that, I was like, oh yeah, you could get like maybe a couple hours out of that thing, and then it was dead.
Yeah. Well, the worst
really, the games were not like
the worst thing is
amazing.
If you forgot to turn it off, it would
yeah.
still function even when the game is off. Yeah,
batteries are dead when you come back.
Yeah.
All right, Guitar Hero moves on.
I do like Yoshi Safari, though. You have to be careful not to shoot the back of Yoshi's head, or
That's
else
true.
he gets upset. Oh god! Oh god! Here we go. The two most over-engineered controllers.
Yep. So we got the
Power
Glove versus the Steel Battalion controller. So this is the Power Glove. It's so bad. I had to do that. And
oh man,
I don't know what they were thinking with this.
Well,
I really don't.
I do, and there is some cool stuff. Super Glove Ball works. It's not a great game. It's basically Breakout, but 3D ish.
Are the A and B backwards?
No, that's how they are in an NES controller.
Okay. Why do I think it's the other way around? That's weird.
Because they should be the other way around.
Yeah. Why is it ba?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, it is cool, but functionally, it is just weird.
There aren't a lot of games that are built specifically for it. You can use it technically with any game, because
just like the DDR mat.
Yeah. It does actually have like sensors to determine like if your fingers are flexing or not, and those can be used in place of button inputs. So you could have like the A button be like twitching your thumb.
Is that what the program button is for?
Yes.
Prog?
So you can program with different numeric codes will instruct it to behave in different ways and to assign different actions to like to the fingers and to its positional sensor. The positional sensor is actually kind of neat. So it has 3 ultrasonic emitters that go on your TV, and those little swooped areas on the left and right, those are microphones, and it determines how loud the different ultrasonic sounds coming from those speakers are, and it's able to, because it's stereo microphones, it's able to determine how far away it is from your TV and what its relative like height and like lateral position is. So it can do X, Y, and Z positioning through its stereo microphones and the sound emitters.
So for those of you who don't know, this movie was heavily featured in the movie The Wizard.
The Wizard. Yep.
Which was a advertisement disguised as a movie.
Yeah.
which ironically really wasn't advertising the Power Glove as much as it was Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah.
But they somehow stuck this in there with it.
Yep.
And obviously,
the badass villain kid plays Rad Racer with it. Which you can use as like a steering. You can use it to like control a phantom steering wheel. It like you tilt it and move it left and right, and it'll steer your car left and right. Games that are designed for it work best, but there weren't that many. Like I said, there's Super Glove Ball, which is probably the showcase title because it actually does use the gripping to like grip the virtual ball and then throw it.
I love gripping virtual balls.
I love gripping real balls.
Whoa, Jesus.
I was teaching my niece how to play basketball. What were you thinking of?
No. The Power Glove is it's something. I don't know what it is, but it exists.
Yeah.
I wonder how much it was at launch.
I don't know.
Power Glove NES. Watch it be up $1 jillion.
I don't think it was.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Hold on. Let me guess.
Okay.
$149.95 USD.
So this is converted to
Canadian dollars.
No.
or to
Fuck,
modern.
modern currency.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
What
inflation.
What's the word? Inflation. Taking into account inflation, it was $194 US
Okay,
today.
so that would have probably been about $75 back then.
Yes. Yeah. $75 back then.
That's okay. That for
For $200 for a piece of shit.
well, for it. It's a
How much
piece,
was the Super Scope?
it's
Let's
a
find
piece
out
of
how
shit
much.
because there weren't really many games for it. If better,
It didn't work really all that well. I mean,
when it well for the games that it was designed for, it did work. There just
Yeah.
weren't that many of them, and so most people's experience with it is, trying to play Metroid with it or whatever.
I cannot find what the Super Scope costs.
I don't remember what it cost.
No, I can't find it. It's not listed.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the other one here, which is the Steel Battalion controller.
So,
look at this monstrosity.
I'm going to say one thing.
Say it.
I respect it.
Oh yeah,
I'm not going to say that it was a good idea. I respect what is it that
Great idea.
What is it that I always say? Commit to the bit.
Commit to the bit.
Commit to the bit. They fucking committed to this bit. So I respect that. It's an abomination. But,
all right, so let's explain what it is.
Yeah,
so it's a controller designed for one game, Steel Battalion for the Xbox.
On the original Xbox. This was a game from Capcom, and it was like, what if we did Mech Warrior, but you actually had like the controls that you might have at that cockpit? Let's make our, how there's like racing simulation, like Gran Turismo or whatever, that try to be realistic. This is a mech simulation.
Yeah. Complete with foot pedals, 2 joysticks, and an array of buttons.
And an eject button.
Yeah. Which I would have pressed immediately upon playing this game. It does look so cool, though.
It does look cool.
Although this looks straight out of a receiver. Like an audio-video receiver. Like the volume button.
Yeah.
Really?
Or like the scrubber wheel on video editing.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But is that the eject button?
Yeah, that is your self-destruct Well, I forget if it's the same button or not. No, I don't think it is. I think the eject button is a different one. And you have to eject with that or you die and your save game gets erased. Which is another thing that this game did, by the way. If you die in the game, it erases your save file.
Oh,
and you have to start over again. Oh, that is the eject button. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it says eject. Yeah, right there, eject, yeah. This says cockpit hatch. Start. I don't know what this says. It's hard to read. If I zoom in too close, it's even harder to read.
Yeah, it gets pixelated.
Yeah. Multi-monitor.
I think there's like an 8-part startup sequence when you start the robot.
The mech?
Yeah.
This thing was also $200 US at the time.
Yep. It came with the game, though.
What year was this?
I think this was like
2002.
2002? Okay, I was going to say 2003, but...
Yeah, 2000, just at the end of 2002.
Yeah.
In 2025.
By the way, they made a sequel to Steel Battalion that used the Kinect.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So the equivalent would be about $359 US today, which would probably be bumped up to $399. Yeah. Let's be real. So $400 basically for this monstrosity.
Almost the cost of the system itself.
Yeah.
To play this one game.
Real.
A game that I haven't played, but apparently it's just okay.
It's fine at best.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. What
we have here are 2 specialty controllers that are at their best just kind of okay. I think we got to give it to the Power Glove just because it doesn't cost as much and it works with more than one game. Even if it doesn't work super well with, all games, it's a better investment because you're not losing as much money.
That's fair. It's also probably more well-known at this point than the Steel Battalion controller.
Yeah.
The Power Glove is so bad. All right, Power Glove moves on. Wonderbook versus the GBA wireless adapter, I think that is.
I cannot believe, if this is what I'm thinking of, I cannot believe you brought Wonderbook into this. Is this that fucking educational series of games?
No.
No? Okay, then what is this?
So this was the PlayStation 3. It was like an AR product. So it was a book that you would open up, and the camera would look at it,
and it has
and
the
on the
markings
TV
on it, and so it's like the target markings. Okay.
Depending on the game you were playing, something would appear out of the book, but it was an AR game, so you would have to like. It was terrible. It was
you needed the PlayStation Eye.
I think it may have came with. Let me check. So, oh god, it's worse than that. Okay.
Oh no.
It was used in conjunction with the PlayStation Eye and the Move. You needed to. The Wonderbook features computer vision techniques developed jointly with the computer vision group at Oxford Brookes University. Marketed under the tagline "One Book, 1,000 Stories." It was released together with the launch title "Book of Spells" in 2012. And I think that was
late?
Yeah. 1 year before the PlayStation 4 was being released.
Is it at least compatible with the PS4?
No.
Jesus Christ.
And it was only compatible with 4 games.
Of course.
Book of Spells, Diggs Nightcrawler, Walking with Dinosaurs, and Book of Potions, which was probably a sequel. But Book of Spells and Book of Potions probably would be frowned upon today. Can you guess who the individual is behind those two games?
Were these Harry Potter tie-ins?
These were J.K. Rowling.
Of course they
titles. Yeah, these were Pottermore games. Walking with Dinosaurs was something else entirely. And Diggs Nightcrawler also something entirely
I would give it the win if it worked with the Dig.
Yeah, that'd be cool. This thing was just a garbage truck on fire.
This is honestly the first time I've even heard of this thing. I'm impressed.
Wow, really?
You found something that I've never heard of.
Yeah, no, I remember this vividly. Seeing them, so they devoted like 45 minutes of time to this at like an E3.
Oh my god!
And I was just watching with just.
I must have seen it then. I probably just blocked it out because like, oh, that's stupid and I'll never use that.
Yeah. No.
Because I know I've got an image in my head of a Harry Potter game, but I know for a fucking fact that it was a Kinect game.
It was pretty cheap though. It was only $34.99.
Plus the Move, plus the Eye.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a piece of plastic with like target markings for the machine vision to recognize, right? And orient the AR stuff too. So
it's true.
Of course it's going to be cheap.
Yeah.
I wonder if you got scans of those and then printed them out, would they work?
I don't know.
I can't see any reason why they wouldn't. It's just image recognition.
Yeah.
Now I want to try that out.
Yeah. It was 2012 E3. So if you ever want to go back and look at that E3 and see how
I think I'm good.
Asinine it was. Yeah, it was pretty bad. It got pretty decent reviews though. The Book of Spells holds a 72 on Metacritic.
Oh, great! There's a killer app.
Yeah. There's definitely no killer app for it. That's damn sure. But it at least worked. It's just. It was so niche.
You got to buy all this stuff that only works with 4 games.
Yeah.
Do we even need to talk about the next one? I think we have a winner already.
Probably. What do we got? The wireless adapter.
Yeah.
So this was basically just the
wireless link cable.
Wireless link cable.
Now,
it was a link cable without a.
There is one downside to this: is that the game has to be compatible with it. It doesn't just take the spot of the link cable. The game does need to be designed with it in mind. But there were actually more games that worked with this than I thought. There's actually a bunch of them.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was only like some of the Pokemon games, but there's something like 30 games or something that actually work with this thing.
46.
So that's pretty good. That's more than work with the fucking Wonder Book, that's for sure.
Yeah, 46, but 15 of those were NES games, like the classic NES series release. Yeah. So yeah, roughly 30. Although I don't know a whole lot of them. Let's see.
Oof. There's probably some Japan only ones in there.
Yeah. Yeah, there is. But there's okay, so there's Boktai, Chronicles of Narnia, Digimon Racing, Dragon Ball Z, Boo's Fury.
That's a good game.
Hamtaro, Lord of the Rings: The Third Age, Mario Golf Advance Tour.
That's also a good game.
Yeah. Mario Tennis Power Tour. Mega Man Battle Network 5 and 6.
Love those games.
Pokemon Emerald, Fire, Red, Leaf Green. Yeah. Shrek Super Slam, and the rest are Japanese only games.
Yeah.
Not a great list.
But like
not an expansive list.
Still better than Wonder Book. Like you have to consider what it's going
up
against.
Oh yeah, I'm not comparing them. I'm just I would have hoped that they would support it better than that.
This came out really late in the GBA's lifespan. This either came out just before or like the same time as the DS.
2004.
So same year as the DS.
Yeah, why even bother? Weird.
Well, you have to remember at the time Nintendo didn't know if the DS was going to take off, so it was kind of like, are we going to have to fall back to the GBA, or is the DS going to be a thing? And the DS, of course, turned out to be a huge success.
But not immediately, though.
Not immediately. It took about a year, year and a half for their.
A little bit more than that, because it really took off once they did the light version of the DS. That original DS was like, it's fine. It's
a little bit heavy if you're using it one-handed, but no, it definitely started to have like really good games come out before the DS Lite. Although the DS Lite obviously was the DS Lite came out like 2.5 years after, I think, and it's just a more slim line model.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to give it to the wireless adapter.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, Wonder Book. All right, we got the U-Force versus the Multi-Tap.
Oh.
All right, so
interesting. So the
U-Force.
This is basically the Sega Activator, but actually kind of interesting because
also just bad.
Well, it's not great, but it at least has like interesting functions and can do some neat things instead of just being put hand here for button.
Put hand here for button.
This, like the Power Glove, this can be reconfigured to work for a ton of games.
If it worked well. But it doesn't really work well.
You can use it for Punch Out and do like punching motions, and it kind of works.
Kinda. Kinda's not good in a game.
I mean, it was the NES,
Yeah, that's true. But I would never pick this over something else. Like I wouldn't like over a regular controller. This is another one of those things where they're like, how can we overcomplicate what we already have perfected with a regular controller?
Well, it was about making it a little more interactive. Like instead of pressing a button, you're actually punching in Punch Out.
I've also never heard of this company before.
Really?
Broderbund?
They did all kinds of stuff. They did like Carmen Sandiego games. They were the publisher of that. They
were a powerhouse in the educational and entertainment software market.
Yes.
Okay. Fantavision, Choplifter, Apple Panic, Lode Runner, Wings of Fury, Prince of Persia.
Yeah, they published that as
San Diego, Guardian Legend, Logical. Oh, Myst. Oh. Well, shit, son.
This was
definitely not one of their best products.
They were more of a PC game company, but they did, the occasional. As you can see, they did the occasional thing here.
So basically, you just waved your hand over and blocked. It was just another blocking of the IR sensor to do things, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So weird. But it worked. It was more interesting than the Activator.
Yeah. I give them both an F.
Yeah. Well, one's
Um,
an F plus.
sure. I can go with that. I can go with that. And then we got the multi-tap, which is for the PS1 and PS2. The PS1 is that infamous V-shaped
Yeah.
version, and then this is the PS2 version, which basically just turns one of your ports on your PlayStation into 4.
Yeah.
So you can have up to 8 players instead of 2.
Yeah.
Which was basically used for sports games.
Yeah. I'm like with the PS1, I can understand them not doing it, but by the PS2, it's like you guys should have known 4 controller ports is where it's at.
It was a little strange that it didn't have 4 controller ports. I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Like I almost want to ding it for like being a solution to a problem that shouldn't exist at that point.
Yeah, because both its competitors had 4 ports.
Yeah, like N64,
GameCube, and
Dreamcast, GameCube, Xbox. Like, guys, both the things that came immediately before and immediately after, they all got the message. What's taking you so long?
That's true. The PS1, though.
Yeah, at the time they had no idea.
At the time was good.
Yeah, and it's not like it's not like that was the only system that had a multi-tap. The Super Nintendo had one, and the NES had one.
Yeah. I have to give it to the multi-tap over the U-Force. It at least had a significant use.
Yeah, it made games better. The U-Force just made them more complicated. Neat, but complicated. And unnecessarily so.
Exactly. Multi-tap it is. All right. Now we got the NES mouse versus the iToy.
Oh, boy. So I never used the iToy.
I never had one myself.
Yeah,
but we'll get to that in a sec.
Right. So this is kind of like a thing with the Dreamcast keyboard. Like it's just a mouse. It's a 2-button ball mouse, and it comes with a plastic mouse pad, and that's it.
Yeah,
but Mario Paint is fun.
Yeah, and apparently you can use it in Lemmings too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were a few other games. I don't remember off the top of my head all of them. You could probably get a list of them.
Yeah. NES mouse.
I never liked how the buttons were so small. I always felt like it should be like one half was one button and the other half was the other button, you know, like on every computer mouse ever. I don't know why they felt the need to do that. And it's, like I said, it's a ball mouse, so it's got some traction issues where, the surface you use it on really affects how well it works.
Yeah, the mouse pad was kind of required.
Yeah.
It says it was supported by 80 games.
Oh, that's way more than I thought.
As well as the Super Game Boy.
Oh, yeah, for the painting thing. That's right. If you wanted to do a custom painted border on the Super Game Boy, which was not very good, but, you can do it.
It specifies that certain games released after the mouse display a warning message indicating that the mouse is not compatible with the game, which I don't remember. It says Yoshi's Island and Kirby Superstar have a message that pops up.
It's probably only if you have the mouse plugged in.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. So let's see, games of note that use the mouse. Doom.
Yeah, if you want to play Doom on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
which is not the worst way to play Doom, but it's close.
Jurassic Park.
Oh, I bet it works in the first-person scenes.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Lemmings 2.
All right, so I was right.
Mario Paint.
Yeah, of course. It came with Mario Paint.
Yeah, all of the Mario's early years games.
Oh, those educational games that I never played because they were obviously educational.
Yeah, Might and Magic 3.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Populous 2.
That makes sense.
There's a lot of Japanese games here.
Yeah,
Civilization.
Oh, yeah, there was a Super Nintendo version of Civilization. Does SimCity 2000 use it? Or support it?
No.
Oh, bummer.
SimAnt does, though.
I like SimAnt.
Yeah. Super Noah's Ark 3D.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Super Caesar's Palace. Once again, T2, the arcade game.
Oh, that makes
That
sense.
had a lot of support.
Yeah.
Vegas Stakes and Wolfenstein 3D.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. If Super Noah's Ark 3D supports the most, the fucking official Wolfenstein 3D better.
Yeah, there's a lot of other games, but those
Yeah.
are kind of the noteworthy
That is not
ones.
a good version of Wolfenstein 3D, by the way.
No, no. And then the other one we have is
It
the
works, but
PS2 iToy.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I never used this thing.
Look it up real quick. PS2 iToy. So obviously it's a color webcam for the PS2.
Mm-hmm.
Supported games using computer vision and gesture recognition to process images taken by the iToy.
But it is only monocular vision. It doesn't have binocular vision because it only has the one camera, so it doesn't work as well as the Kinect. And it also doesn't have the like the IR array emitter that the Kinect does. The Kinect broadcasts like thousands of little infrared dots, which it uses for mapping depth.
Yeah. The camera. What's the word I'm looking for? The quality. What do you call that? Pixel quality?
Yeah,
I guess.
the image resolution.
320 by 240, but capable of 640 by 480.
Yeah, it's got a 640 by 480 sensor. But the Dream Eye is also the same way. Like games might use a lower resolution just for more speed, but it has a 640 by 480 sensor.
It's also compatible with PS3 and can be used for video chatting as well. So you can use it as a webcam, basically.
Oh, is it just a USB?
I assume so.
Okay.
Yeah, connectivity, USB 1.1.
Because the PS2 does have USB ports on it. Yeah, so there's no reason why you couldn't just use that on a Windows machine.
And it had 31 games that it supported, which were all specifically meant to be played with the iToy. So
Anything
it was like iToy Play, iToy Groove, iToy Monkey Mania. There were some other ones though. Sega Superstars, Disney Move, Spy Toy, Bob the Builder, Thomas and Friends. Lots of kid stuff.
Yeah,
by the looks of it. And then lots and lots and lots of iToy insert name here. And then they had some optional use in certain games. Like it was used in Burnout Paradise to take your picture, to put your picture on the license. No, it's to put your picture on your license.
Oh, wasn't there a game where when you crashed or when you died, it would take a picture to like get your reaction?
That does ring a bell. I'm not sure what game that was though.
Does this have a microphone? I feel like it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Actually, let me see.
I'm sure that the PlayStation Eye did, but did the PlayStation Eye toy?
It does have a microphone.
Okay.
It does have a microphone, yeah. It was manufactured by Logitech.
Yes. I like how it's got that PS2 design language still going with it. They really committed to that.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. I'm trying to find any other like cool optional stuff. It worked with Lemmings 2006. Don't know what the optional thing was there.
Maybe you like point at the Lemmings or something. Who knows?
Oh, Little Big Planet. You could use it to make stickers. In-game stickers.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Sims 2. You could take pictures and put it on the wall.
No.
And Tony Hawk's Underground 2, you could capture an image of your face and map it onto your character. Remember when that was a thing?
Yeah. Fucking Rainbow Six Vegas lets you do that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not with the iToy apparently.
No, with the Xbox camera, but it looks like shit.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. Perfect Dark was going to have a thing like that. Remember Perfect Dark when they were advertising that? They took it out at the last second.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. So what are we thinking here?
I mean, this is kind of a hard one because one's just a mouse and one's just a webcam.
Yeah.
I think
I would go with the mouse just because it was really innovative for a console to have.
Yeah, at the time it was kind of neat, and it's actually used in games.
I mean, iToy has a lot of support, and it was very popular.
Yeah, but like
I would still go with the mouse.
I think I'd have a lot more fun playing Lemmings with a mouse than with a webcam.
Yeah, true. All right, mouse pad goes on, and that's it. So now it's time to make the decision. Let's see what we got here. All right, printer versus DDR. I assume we have to go with DDR.
Yeah.
Move versus pocket sonar. Ooh, that's a tough one.
Can't feed yourself with the Move controller.
You can't.
But I bet that is there. Here's a question. This will be the thing that solves it instantly. Is there a fishing game on the PS3 that uses the Move controller?
Oh, I'm sure.
Because if that's it, I'll give it to the Move right away.
PlayStation Move controller. Legendary fishing.
All right, I'll give it to the Move then.
All right, Move it is.
That pocket sonar is neat, though.
It is very neat. Writer versus the Guitar Hero controller. I don't know. What are you thinking on this one? This one's tough for me. I'm kind of like bouncing back and forth in my brains.
I mean,
I like the writer. It's cool.
You could use the writer to get good games, but in a kind of
it was so broken,
convoluted way.
Yeah, like if the writer had more space and didn't have the problems of
it was just a simpler, easier to use solution.
Yeah,
then it would be an easy win. I mean, that thing could go all the way to the end.
Yeah, if it actually like fulfilled its potential, which I don't think it did. So I'd go with the Guitar Hero controller, just because it did succeed.
It did
very
succeed,
much so.
But like you can really only play the one kind of game with it. It doesn't. It isn't even compatible with Rock Band, right? Wasn't that a thing? Is that they weren't intercompatible?
I don't know. Check.
Because like
they do. They work with Rock Band.
Okay.
But the Rock Band guitar doesn't work with Guitar Hero.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah, I would say the Guitar Hero one just because it fulfills its promise. Whereas the other one,
it does work better at the thing that it's trying to do. Like I do like the idea of carrying around a few Super Nintendo games on a cartridge, but they'd have to be a few small ones.
A few small ones. Yeah, you have to optimize it and you have to do some work to kind of figure out what the best way of
I don't want to have to do research just to figure out how to make the best use of my blank slate cartridge.
Yeah, like they should have, instead of just having it as a customizable thing, they should have just had like packages that you could pick from. Be like, pick package 1, you get these games. Package 2, you get these games. Package 3, you get these games.
Maybe.
Because otherwise you have to do all this research and back then, that would have been almost impossible.
Yeah, internet wasn't as prominent back then.
Yeah, trying to find out like how big each game was and how to fit them. You'd have to like go to one of these places and be like, "Can you fit this one, this one, this one, and this one?" And then by the sounds of it, they don't know what they're talking about. So then they'd go try it. It wouldn't work, and then they'd come back and be like, "Well, that didn't fit. Can you try?" You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would just be a headache.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one just works.
Yeah, it's because it's not like you'd have like a Nintendo Power wiki where you could just find that information. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Let's give it to the
And that's a design flaw, right?
Yeah. Let's give it to the Guitar Hero controller.
I mean, God.
one is innovative but only kind of works with some games, and one is just a link cable, but it works with some games.
Just with a very limited supply of games.
Yeah, but like how many games do you really want to play with the Power Glove, even if it does work with them?
Yeah, I think I would give it the wireless adapter, sadly. Here, I don't think it's going to make it very far, though.
It's less interesting, but it's more functional. We'll give it to that. I got to give it to the mouse, because the multi-tap just lets you plug in more controllers. The mouse actually lets you control things differently.
Play more games, yeah, I agree. Ooh. I'd give it to the Move just because it plays more games. DDR is just for DDR. Move is for many different games and VR stuff
Yeah.
and Wonderbook technically.
Yeah. Oh, great. Ooh.
But it is a better version of the Wii Remote as well, which we
Yeah.
didn't put on this list because it's just a waggle.
Yeah.
This thing at least has technology.
It's the standard controller for that system.
Yeah. So move.
Yeah. Move.
Okay, got to go with guitar here.
Um,
It actually served a perfect purpose, and you didn't have to think about it. Whereas with this, it was like,
does this game use
again,
it? Man,
does this game use
if
it?
that thing had just been a link cable replacement, and
yeah,
like
if it had just worked with everything,
then it'd be
this thing might win.
Yeah.
If that was the case.
Yeah, because God,
It's
like having to carry a fucking link cable around with you, whereas this could just be a thing that just lives on your Game Boy.
And it just came out too late too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
If it had came out within the first 2 years, it would have been able to support way more games.
Yeah, even if it didn't support everything, it would have supported way more.
Yeah, but the fact that it came out in the last year of the
yeah,
so it basically it basically only worked for a year of games.
Well, I mean, they did keep making GBA games for a while after that, which is probably why there's as many titles that support it as that there are. Yeah. But it wasn't really the focus anymore, and it didn't really. No. Its time in the sun was with the Pokemon games, and that's about it. So yeah, we'll give it to the guitar. I can't believe this fucking plastic guitar is going as far as it does.
Well, it's not going to move past here.
Yeah, I don't
guess
think
it's got to be the move.
Because the move works with more games and
way more games.
Yeah.
Yep. Ooh, I mean, again, I got to go with the move.
Was there any art software that used the move?
That's going to be hard to look up. Let me try though.
Because if there was, I'll give it to the move right away again. It won't be Mario Paint.
I mean, it's used in Dreams, if that counts.
Oh, okay.
So you can use it for like crafting all stuff, like the artwork and everything. So it is used there.
Okay. And it is a 3-dimensional controller, whereas the mouse is a 2-dimensional controller. Yeah, I'll give it to the move. My love of Mario Paint notwithstanding. So we've got something really interesting and novel, but
no longer works. Versus the perfection of the Wii Remote, essentially.
Yeah. But then, like...
Oh, man. If we're talking about peripherals, gaming peripherals, and
which we
are, I would give it to the move, because what I like about Satellaview is less about the Satellaview itself and more about the service that it provided.
That's a good point.
That's where I'm leaning right now, just because of that fact.
It did allow for some interesting experiences, but the service is part of it, and the service is no longer available. And even when the service was still working, some games would only work at certain times, which is limiting.
Yeah.
I really love the idea of its digital distribution at such an early time. And
the live stuff was amazing.
And better than the Nintendo Power Writer, because it just comes to your system. You don't have to go anywhere for it.
Yeah. The other reason I would give it to the move was because they introduced it, and instead of letting it just die a slow death,
actually did support it for a while.
Yeah, they not only supported it, but they were like, hey, we can use this with our VR headset. Oh, hey, we can use this on the next console. Like it spanned multiple consoles. It's pretty impressive that they were able to do that.
Yeah. I for a company that so often just dumps things out and lets them die, PlayStation Vita, I'm gonna hold the Vita against them forever.
Yeah, me too, man. I love the Vita, man. I love the Vita.
It's rough. Like
and the VR too. It's kind of falling into that category as well. So
yeah. They definitely gave the move like their attention.
Yeah.
This is tough because
it is.
You've got
We can tie it.
No. Let's
No.
not do that.
No, I can't figure out a way to lean towards the Satellaview more than the Move. Every time I go, which one would I go on this particular category? I go to the Move because again, it's the best gaming peripheral, and this thing does so many different things. It does, it lasted like over a decade.
It's got way more games that support it than were on the Satellaview.
Way more games that support it, and you can still play them today.
Yeah, you can. I'm just like the digital distribution thing in the 90s. It's just and
Crazy.
Digital distribution done right.
Yeah.
When Nintendo themselves had already done it wrong, right? Like it's the
idea of it was so cool,
and it worked. It worked. They made it work, but
it no longer works.
It no longer works.
Literally, if you bought a Satellaview today, it would be a piece of plastic, a paperweight. Unfortunately, a collector's item, but a paperweight. Yeah.
I mean, you could.
Whereas the Move would still work.
You can still play the games that are on there that don't require the live service, but it's a live service device for some games, isn't it? Yeah. It did allow for those experiences that wouldn't have been doable any other way, but some of those games don't work anymore.
Yeah.
And
which we hate because we talk about that.
Which we hate. Yeah.
Concord doesn't exist anymore. It's just an ethereal thing that will never be a thing.
Yeah.
Anthem. It's just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm letting my love of early like technological innovation kind of color me here, but if you're bringing me back down to earth, and I got to say, you know what? I think it's going to be the Move. I
was the one who fought for the Satellaview to get here, so I get you because I love it. But
it's a cool idea, and it kind of worked, but it doesn't anymore.
With all the variables accounted for,
the Move still does.
Yeah, and it worked great. It's not a bad product whatsoever.
It works well. Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
ladies and gentlemen, it sounds like we have ourselves a winner.
PlayStation Move.
The PlayStation Move.
There we go.
I don't know why it's doing that. There we go. Ba-bam! Ladies and gentlemen, that has been our first ever bracket tournament for gaming peripherals.
Congratulations to the PlayStation Move.
Congratulations to the PlayStation Move, indeed.
Honorable mentions to the Satellaview, to the Dex Drive,
Absolutely. And the Super Nintendo Mouse.
And the Super Nintendo Mouse, yeah.
Top 4 right there.
Yeah.
Top 4. And special shout out to the Activator.
The Activator.
You suck. Burn in hell.
The fastest, easiest nope.
Yeah.
That I think we've ever agreed on. It's like, wow, that is like we put a printer above that thing. A printer. A fucking
printer.
Thermal paper printer.
Yeah. Yeah. That was probably the easiest no.
Yeah.
Oh, and the ride. Ride was pretty easy no as well. That was bad. That was real bad. All right, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to follow me on the socials, I'm at TJ-Leo on BlueSky.
And I am at Ninjas on BlueSky.
If you want to email us, you can do so at co.op.podcasts@gmail.com. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and join the Co-op Club Discord community server. Link is in the description. Until next time, get back to gaming.
Oh,
and
yeah!
Let us know what you would put in the number 1 spot here as well, Macho Man.
Let us know, brother. The cream has risen to the top.